the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X gaming show. Tune in where the thoughts flow. Rant and rave with words that glow. Weekly stories make them go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week, except last week, was Sarge Mclusky. What's going on, Sarge?
I can talk again.
Yeah, last week you're like, I can't talk, bro.
I can't talk.
You sounded like the villain from Danger Mouse.
Dr. Claw.
Dr. Claw, yeah. That's what you sounded like. What's going on, chat? Generation X Gaming. We're here live Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on 30NSG. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We can also listen to the past broadcasts over on Spotify, Anchor.fm, and anywhere else a podcast is heard. We're also, like I said, we're here live at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're only on YouTube right now because my internet's messing up and I can't get that upload speed because of the node out front. That's a whole other story I needed to talk about. It's been a month, chat, since that first guy showed up. We had another guy show up the other day and nobody's come out to fix the actual poll yet. So
you're on the list.
Yeah, the list for last month. And I had the sassy woman talk to me, right? She was all very attitude towards me. And I was like, look, she's like, I have to send out a technician. I'm like, I just need the guy to go up the pole, right? And she's like, well, this is what she said. I can't contact the person to have that set up. I have to send the technician out, and the technician has to call that other guy out. I went, the other guy comes out, he's not going to do anything. I just need you to get the people to come over and just touch the pole, right? We're going around this whole thing. She's like, sir. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, yeah, go ahead. Make the appointment. Send the guy out so he can waste his time, waste my time, waste your time, so he can go call the other person. The guy comes here, goes around, checks the house, does the thing, goes, I don't see any problems. I'm like, no shit. I was like, now do you want to check the poll? Right? He's like, well, I can't do that.
It's fucking madness, dude.
It's so
the bureaucratic red tape bullshit is just out of hand. And you could tell little Miss Sir the next time you talk to her, ask for the same operator. Like, why don't you go through the process with me? How about I get back to you? How about I send somebody else to talk to you?
Chat, guess what her name was? And the reason, just think about it. Think about it real good, chat.
Karen.
No. It's game themed. What do you think her name was, Sarge?
It's game themed.
Yeah, it's game themed.
What kind of game?
I can't give you that answer. I can't give you that answer.
It's game thing.
Her name was Highguard. No, it wasn't Highguard, but that's a good one.
Karen and Susan are the same, just one's a brunette and one's
Karen,
blonde.
Susan, no.
Same.
No, Krebsy said Highguard as well. No. You guys are close. You guys are close.
Yeah, in case anyone's worrying, Karen and Susan are the same person. It's just
yeah, middle name Susan. It's Karen Susan.
They're both Karens, just one's a blonde, one's a brunette. That's all it is.
Yes, Krebsy. There it is. The operator's name was Destiny, right?
Get the hell out of here.
I swear to God, it was Destiny.
Well, this is the other job she doesn't like.
That's right. All right, Sarge. Anything before we get to what we've been playing? Anything exciting happening? Stories? Anything? Nothing?
I mean, I was in a house literally for 5 days. It did nothing, right? I would basically sleep about 15 hours. I would get up. I would eat something.
Sounds good.
I get up. I would eat something. I would cough for 3 hours, exhaust myself from coughing, and then go back to bed. That was basically the routine for 5 days.
Too bad you didn't get sick this week so you could play Highguard.
I wouldn't waste any moments on that game. Not one.
Chat, be honest now, chat. Who is? We won't make fun of you that much. Okay, who's playing Highguard?
You
Anyone?
could play it. No, I'm not. No, I'm not gonna.
Anyone playing
I didn't.
Highguard?
I wasn't sick for a week to save up my anger to take it out on Highguard people. I don't care. If you like the game, I'm happy for you.
What am I gonna play, Water? If you don't say if you say Highguard, I'm gonna smack you.
I mean, I'll tell you what I'm excited to play. I'm excited to play Space Marine 2 because you guys told me it was coming out on.
It came out. It's
Yes.
today. It came out today. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to play it without you, so I'm not gonna.
Well, the question tonight is, do you want to play?
Like afterwards to practice.
Yeah, after
So we're
stream.
not super noob by next Wednesday.
I mean, we could start over.
Well, yeah, we can start over. What I'm saying is we're not super noob. Like we don't walk in going, "What's this do?"
Yeah, right. Alex says Highguard would probably make Sarge sick. Yeah, maybe you could get sick.
I listen to all the videos about the game. I watch you guys during the week. Listen,
We got plenty of. There's a lot of stories about Highguard during the show, Sarge.
I got a lot to say, but it's probably not directed towards Highguard. I mean, for the hour or two a day that I was functional and not coughing, I did play more of Dome Keeper because I wanted to try to finish all the unlocks. The challenges are absurd, and so I stopped playing that. There were a couple other new things that were on there. I did try Space Marine 1 just to get a feel for the controls, since the controls are kind of the same. I played the first one. Hell Let Loose, I played for like 15 minutes but fell asleep and the guys were yelling.
I haven't gone back since they updated it, and they updated it months ago, didn't they?
Well, the couple of things that they did for Hell Let Loose is now the artillery is designated, which means if you pick artillery, you're on the artillery. That's what you're doing. Like you can't jump in and out of the artillery, right? And then the snipers don't go back to the artillery anymore. Like that game loop isn't there anymore. Like you have artillery, that's it. You have to worry about the resources for the artillery, but they don't send a sniper team back there to knock you off the artillery, and we play this fucking cat and mouse game. Like that's gone. They got rid of it. They got rid of that. They got rid of the medic thing that you have to heal after the medic. When the medic picks you up, you're healed. You don't have to pick him up and then heal him.
Oh, okay.
Right. So it's like a Battlefield type of medic. Battlefield game type of medic. The hitbox on the tanks were changed a little bit. Medium tanks now are a little bit more chunky. They're not paper mache. I forget, there was a couple other things. They did a nice job. I think most of the things that they did for the game, I think, are because the Vietnam game's supposed to come out. So I'm thinking that they're changing up the gunplay and whatnot. I've been actually watching a lot of competitive Hell Let Loose.
I like watching that because you get all the different camera angles and stuff. They like fly around the map and
they're telling you what's going on. They explain everything to you. So I was thinking about actually getting up on one of those teams and playing competitively. But I just got to figure out what the schedule is going to be. But getting back to the original statement, I tried to play Hell Let Loose during the time I was actually coherent enough, and I ended up falling asleep with the controller in my hand, and I just heard people yelling at me. So I have to make sure I had a Sarge. Yeah. I AFK with the controller in my hand. Basically, was snoring. It was just out. You can't do that. You can't do that when you're playing a game.
No, you can't. You can't do that.
A single player game, easy, right? I did play through Final Fantasy 1 because it's on Game Pass, right? And I didn't look anything up. I just was walking around the world. I'm like, all right, let's see how much I remember from Final Fantasy 1. I played Final Fantasy 1 on the NES.
Yeah, I remember.
Back in like 1989.
We played 1, 2, and 3. 3 for some reasons like embedded in my skull. I remember 3.
The numbers are different for US than it is for Japan. It's just
whatever 3 was on the original is
1, 2, and 3. Yeah. So I got all the way to the end. The move I did to myself, I said, okay. I said, I have to remember what areas have what monsters, and I have to play no death. So I can't rush through the game. I'm not allowed to die. Right. So I knew the zones where I could level up a little bit easier. I remembered the zones. But then after realizing that it wasn't working. I'm like, where are the guys that are supposed to be here? I looked it up, and they said for the repixel version, they got rid of the zones where people would level up. So you have to, you have to grind, right? So I found some areas, grinded out. I'm at the last guy, and I'm not quite high enough. I can tell by how much damage he's doing. And so I have to go out and grind now. I'm at the last guy, so I have to go grind for like another couple hours and go back in and finish it. But I'm at the end. It took me like 3 days because of the in and out of consciousness. But
every time you say that, I can like close my eyes, and the last time I was like that was when I had COVID, before we knew it was COVID. Like I was out for like 2-3 days. Didn't know what the hell it was.
Well, it's weird.
In and out of consciousness.
Like you want to
down for like 15
you want to
hours.
sleep, like you want to sleep, but I can't sleep because I'm having coughing fits.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm almost asleep and I would cough myself awake. It's fucking horrible. So then the worst part was I started doing the NyQuil thing. Right. And so when you do the NyQuil thing, then your body starts to rely on the NyQuil thing to go to sleep.
I haven't had NyQuil in 20 years.
Yeah, that's the problem. So I stopped taking it like on day 3 or 4, I think it was. And then I was just like this in bed at 4 o'clock. At 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, this isn't gonna work. I gotta take something. I'm not going to bed. So then I would finally go to sleep. And then when I wake up, it's 25 minutes before you're about to end your show. That's when I got up. Like 11:30. I'm getting up at 11:30. It's like
your schedule is completely your schedule.
Yeah, I'm just whacked. Yeah.
The games I've been playing, I've just been playing really one game. I've been playing Hightail since it's been out. I love it, man.
Dawn of War 2. That's right.
Dawn of War 2. You're also playing?
Yeah. No, I'm playing the RTSs because I've looked up on the RTSs. A lot of RTSs coming out this year.
There was another one. I thought I saw. Are they doing an expansion for Dawn of War 4 or something like that? Or they talking? I saw something on Twitter the other day.
There's Dawn of War 4 is coming out. It's supposedly coming out this year.
Did they have an expansion for something else recently?
I
saw something on Twitter. I don't know.
I don't know if you want to call it. I don't know if you want to call it an expansion. I think the last thing that they had was there are modders that are making other things for Dawn of War 2. Like I know some guys made like the Tau, and I know somebody's working on the Necrons.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's still no, it wasn't that update. It was a different update. Yeah, they're listen, there's plenty of stuff to play. Like I like RTS because it's a brain game for me. Like it's not I'll put it to you this way. StarCraft 2 is actions per minute. That's how the game plays. You have to be moving stuff around like a lunatic, right? A game like Dawn of War and Company Heroes 3 is not actions per minute. It's situational awareness, rock, paper, scissors, artillery, outside powers. It's a whole bunch of things. It's not just trying to group up units and move them that way. You know what I mean? It plays different. It plays different.
Alter says Highguard. Yeah, well, yeah, I played Highguard, but I played Hightail more than Highguard, and I'll get to Highguard in a second.
Hightail is good.
Hightail is very good. Right before a stream ended the other day, I saw this because I built a workbench. I forget what the workbenches are. There's an alchemy one. There's another one. I forget what the other one is. But you can make portals from that one. And then they also make these crystal fragments that you can get. And I was like, what does this do? And then you have to make an ancient gateway. And I was like, well, how do you make an ancient gateway? So then I made an ancient gateway. And then you put this crystal that you make into it. And then you go through this portal. And when you go through this portal, you're into this like different dimension. Or you teleport somewhere, and there's this giant tower that's right in front of you. And all of a sudden, there's like a timer. It's got 6 minutes. I'm like, what the hell is this? 6-minute timer. You got to try to get to the top of the tower within 6 minutes. So you're like running through, murdering all the guys as you're going up the tower. Sort of like what Minecraft did in Minecraft Dungeons, right? There's like a tower sequence that you're going up, but you got 6 minutes to do it. And I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. We found it near the end of stream. And I was like, oh, cool. And there's like 3 different crystals that you can make now to go to 3 different areas. And then I found out that you have to have a recipe for like meat pies, right? Because I'm not looking up anything, right? I'm not looking up shit of Hightail. So I hate that Hightail and Highguard. They're so fucking. So I'm not looking up anything for Hightail. there's meat pies, right? To make the meat pies, you got to make dough and you have to get water. Water's a real finicky thing here because obviously playing Minecraft for 15 years, you can make infinity water and you just keep taking buckets from the thing and whatnot. Not in Hightail. In Hightail, to get water, you got to go find an ocean, right? Or a body of water. And when you take it, you're taking it literally out of that part. So let's make it real simple for you. Let's say it's 2 blocks high, 3 blocks wide. Okay. If I take from the corner piece, that piece goes down by 1, and that's not a source anymore. Okay. So I can only grab from that 3x2. Okay. That many times. So if it's 1 deep or 2 deep, it doesn't matter. That's the source that I'm pulling from. Okay. So I found out a little trick. If you go into the ocean and just swim down, you can pull from the middle of like the deep water and to fill up your bucket, right? Because it doesn't go away. If you take it from the top, there's just it's just missing.
How are you going to empty the ocean? What are you talking about?
Well, so right now,
are you telling me you can empty the ocean?
I mean, technically you could. You wouldn't technically empty it. You would be moving it to some other place, right?
I want to go deeper, but please continue with your story.
Anyway, so I came across this meat pie. To make the meat pie, I need dough. To make dough, I need water. Well, I don't have an infinite water source, so every time I have to go get it, I can't pull from my farm because my farm is, watering my plants. So now I got to get buckets and buckets and buckets of water so I can make dough. And I'm like, well, they got to change this because if 1 bucket makes 1 dough and 1 dough makes the 1 meat pie, it's like, this is going to take fucking forever. Go ahead.
Can you harvest rainwater?
No. It does rain, but it doesn't fill up stuff. Maybe it's coming later. I don't know.
Okay. Please continue with your story.
In the patch notes that just came out recently, so during farmland as well, water doesn't react like it does in Minecraft. Again, you're playing this looking like it's Minecraft, but it doesn't have the same.
But it
doesn't have the same mechanics rules as Minecraft, right? So if your water is dead center, it doesn't water 4 blocks out. Okay, it doesn't water all those blocks next to it. It just waters the block next to it. Okay, so you got to take a water container, which you can go up to your source water and just keep grabbing and watering your plants. Okay. But the problem is it doesn't water the other one. So now I said, okay, well, I made 2 columns. So it's 2 sides and I have water on each side. And then I have 2 columns and water on each side. So I have a good strategy going on. Well, they just said in the patch notes that water source doesn't moist the blocks next to it anymore. They got rid of it. So I'm like, well, how am I? So they want you to literally grab the water jug and water every single thing. And I went, holy shit. Cause Chad, if you've seen my farm, I have 300, 600. I have 2 farms,
unnecessary,
300 each. Okay. And I have to go down and water every single one.
No,
I'm like, this is
I'm not doing homework. I'm not doing Farmville. No.
So hopefully they switch that or they add something to it later, but it would be cool if it rains because then I would go up into a place where it's raining all the time because then I would put my stuff down and they would automatically get watered. You know what I mean? So hopefully they put some sort of mechanic in like that. So that's the Hightail stuff that's happening right now. That, Owen, you would hate this.
That's a rage quitting episode that you just described.
If
you're telling me that the water block that I have with a plant next to it doesn't keep the plant watered, is mental.
I mean, I don't know. So animals also don't react like they do in Minecraft. So to try to get an animal you can't lure them. You can trick them a little bit. Like the cows you can hit and they run it in the opposite direction of you. So you can like sort of cage them in an area. Can we get water sprinklers? Maybe. I mean, that'd be interesting. Right. So the animals don't behave like they do in Minecraft either, right? So you can get the small babies out in the world and you have crates and you can grab the babies and put them in crates and then you bring them back to your farm and you put them in your farm, okay? You can't capture the big guys, okay? So you have to capture the small ones and then put them in your farm and then they grow up to be big inside your thing. But I don't think they breed, but you do see a mom, a dad, and a baby, but you have to steal the baby away from the parents. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. So that's the way it is. So that's my farm that I'm working on right now.
Why do they have to make it so evil about doing it? Why don't you just have the animal?
I mean, you're going to slaughter them anyway for meat, or
the simplest thing is to hold out a piece of food that the animal likes and they follow you. That's the simplest mechanic ever.
no,
You just have to figure out what food it is.
You got to pretend you're in Minnesota and you got to grab a crate and move them over. That's what you're doing.
I have to kidnap the children of the other
Yeah,
animals in order for me to have my own.
That's correct. Yeah. So that's game number 1 I've been playing. Game number 2, I played for 45 minutes, which is Highguard. Okay. Highguard.
Yeah.
Wait, let me do what Jeff Keighley did. They've been working for 4 years, and you're excited, and I'm excited. Here is Highguard, right? So I played Highguard for 45 minutes. Okay. I turned it on after I watched Co-Carnage and after I watched Kingard play. I said, okay, let me give it a good shot. Okay. Turned it on, went through the tutorial. I was like, okay. Went through the first training mission, right, of the battle. Then I got into the main game where you're with other people. And my experience, I was just like, what is happening? Like, so you start the match and you have abilities where you can protect the walls, enforce the walls, right? Reinforce the walls with stuff. And you have 3 guys, and then you have to go for this 4 minutes or whatever the fuck time limit it is. Okay. Where you go around and you collect stones. Like, you actually have to go mine stones, like it's Minecraft or Deep Rock Galactic or Hightail. Okay. And you're hammering away, but there's also a little mini game, Sarge. There's a little mini game where you have to hit, and your melee on controllers, you got to push in on the right analog stick.
No.
Okay? So then it's doing this, and you gotta try to capture the thing, and it says perfect, and you get right. So that's what's happening here, right?
Can you remap the buttons?
I 45 minutes. I didn't give a shit. Right.
Okay.
So doing this, and I'm like, this seems like a weird mechanic to have in a first-person shooter game where I'm supposed to, like, right? Very boring in the beginning. Then you're running around trying to find containers. You're trying to find blue containers with shields, like armor inside of them, and you're finding red containers with weapons in them. But it doesn't matter what container you open, they're all going to be the same color weapon, right? That level weapon. So then you proceed to when the Stormbreaker appears, and then this is where the aim actually is fun.
Sword,
a little bit of fun, right? So the Stormbreaker comes, you feel like you're He-Man, you pick up the thing, you're like, right? You run towards the base, and then you try to stab it in their thing, and then it opens up, and this ram comes through. Like, this thing opens up, a ram comes through and smashes into the thing, and then you break the doors open, and then the team automatically gets warped inside or whatever, and then now you're fighting within the hub.
You mean use a ram, battling ram to open up the shield?
Correct. Okay. And that at that point is an arena shooter, right? That's what it turns into, right? It's like an open world thing that shrinks down to an arena shooter, and that's where you're mostly...
Is your melee still on R3?
I didn't get close enough to... I literally asked that question. Again, 45 minutes. I didn't give it enough time to really care. Because I gave it 5.5 hours ahead of time watching other people.
Button ever.
You don't actually...
why do you have to melee in the gun game?
Why can't you just shoot it? Why can't I mean, you can have a melee, but why do I have to why can't I just shoot the crystals? Why do I have to bust out an axe and go up to it with a mini game?
Because mechanics.
Yeah, so the game, the first half, you're like, wow, this is really cool. Like, the maps are big, and you're like, this would be awesome if this was like Halo big battle mode, right? You have like 12 guys on each team, and you're in this map. Would have been fantastic. Embark, for some reason, decided to do a 3v3 in this wide open map, and then you have mounts. So you get on the mount, right? And the only reason the mounts are there is because they made the map so big. And you're like, it would take forever to fucking run. So now they give you a mount. So you're running with the mount. Mount's fast. It's cool. Great. But really, it's just there because they made the map too big, and they want to sell you microtransactions.
Sure.
Okay. So there's that. Round goes, you have to kill A and B, which is like these generators inside the spots.
Or you can kill the crystal to win the whole match.
Right. Or kill the crystal the whole match. If you don't complete it within a time limit, because once you do the Stormbreaker and the thing, there's a timer goes on. You have a certain amount of time to
do the raid.
Get points. If it's A, B, or crystal, whatever. Do something. If you don't do anything, it resets and you start again. Right
But
now,
but if you defend, the other team loses points. Doesn't that how it works?
correct.
Yeah.
And you have 100 points each, and it goes down from there. Okay. The second round starts, then you do the exact same thing. You get the crystals, find the chests, and now the chests are leveled up one more. Right. So now instead of gray weapons, it's blue weapons, then it's purple weapons, then it's legendary weapons as you continue going farther and farther in the match. So you go back and forth, but that first section, man, it's boring as hell in the beginning. And it's boring as hell because it's 3v3. If you were just making the game just the base where it was and it was 3v3, cool. But this wide open area is just so ridiculous. You're like, it's great if you had, like, again, 12v12. I came up with a kind of a fix, right? Don't know if this is have plans down the road 8 months for one of their seasons, but I thought it would be better. Obviously, you have more, at least 5v5, 6v6 minimum. Okay. But I was like, the crystals shouldn't be on the map when you first start. The crystals, in my version of what should be, is that where the Stormbreaker appears, before the Stormbreaker appears, the crystals are in the center, right? So like a game of dodgeball, the balls are in the center, and you have to run towards the center to pick up the dodgeball to try to throw it at other people and stuff like that, right? You're all running to get the crystals in the center, so now you're fighting instantaneously. You run towards the center, now you're fighting there, okay? Then once you're done there, obviously, if I got my pieces and you got your pieces, maybe a total of 50 crystal, like, points that you can get, right? So maybe one team got 30, the other team got 20. Now you can save them or use them, and you have to just strategize on what you want to do. Do we spend them to fortify our base? Do we keep them to hold on to it? And then whoever loses that, let's say this guy's got 20. Now the next resource thing that pops up is a little closer to the team that had less, right? And now this team has to push forward a little bit, and now they're fighting a little bit close. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it something exciting instead of just, yeah, grab your stuff. I leveled up over here, level up here. Okay, Stormbreaker, and now head straight to the base. Something needs to change because it's just like this lull. It's just this boring lull that happens in the very beginning. And then it's just not really that exciting.
Well,
yeah, they have special abilities.
Well, from what I saw, I don't think it's a boring lull. I think the game loop is incomplete.
Yeah.
I think what is supposed to be fun for the game loop isn't there. If you remove the resource gathering part, the map was smaller, and the resources were out there that you had to harvest them real quick and bring them back. And so then you would decide on your own if you were going to fight for resources or go for something else, and maybe put that under a clock. Like it's a 3-minute clock. You got 3 minutes to do whatever to gather resources, but make the map smaller,
Put PvE characters in there. Let me fight NPCs to get the resources.
I think if you put the NPCs in there, I think that would lean them more towards the MOBA, right? Isn't that what
Sure.
that what MOBA was? Right? Like you can send out.
You would send out certain
NPCs.
sections of the MOBA map would give you bonuses or buffs.
But you send it. But the MOBA guys are sent out. The little NPCs are sent out.
They're just. Even the chests could be somewhere, and you're like, there's NPCs guarding the chests, and to get those chests, you have to fight the guys. But while you're fighting the guys, the other guys can come and fight you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a MOBA. That's a MOBA. Yeah,
something. They're doing nothing.
Well, I wouldn't. All right, I'll give them benefit of the doubt, right? MOBAs did very well. They are still doing very well.
Yeah.
Right. So I know this is not going to sound right coming from me, chat, but I'm trying to be better this year. I think if they pivot, right? If they pivot and they try to make it more of an action MOBA instead of a strategy MOBA, because the MOBAs are more strategy, like certain abilities give you certain damage to go after certain guys, and you have to team up, like that kind of thing. This is more of a team-based game with MOBA abilities, I think. If they pivot, I think they have a shot to be an action MOBA type of thing.
Well, we'll go to the top stories. No, go ahead. If they
I think they have a shot. They have a shot to pivot and make like an action MOBA. I think that might work. If they keep the 5,000 people, and they do their roadmap, whatever, I think they still need to change a big chunk of the game for it to succeed the way that they want it to succeed.
Yeah, let me go to the top stories, and we'll just go right into Highguard because there's a lot of stories about Highguard. Chat. That's basically all that happened this week. So let's go to top stories, and then
I get it, Eric.
uh,
I'll be the first to tell you. I'll be the first to tell you the game's trash.
we'll get into Highguard.
By the way, Eric, I agree with you. I'm just letting you know that I'm trying to do things a little differently this year instead of just flying off the thing. Like I knew when I saw the game that it was trash. Like I don't need an hour.
Yeah, we all said it. We all said it on the Game Awards. We're like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Right. King was like, they're done. Like we as soon as we saw it, we're like, yeah, I don't know what this is. Right. So let's start off with, it says that they could have made a different trailer. The High Garcia responds to a poorly received Game Awards reveal. Now, we did find out that Jeff Keighley gave them the last spot, okay, and they rushed to put a trailer together for that spot when they were offered it. So the trailer they showed us at the Game Awards, and we were like, okay, what is this? That's basically what it left us at when we were done. We're like, okay, another Concord is basically what they gave us, right? That's the way it was marketed. So they had problems with the trailer because they rushed the trailer. Then, okay, Highguard Shadow Drop plans were upended by the Game Awards, said CEO. So their whole plan, remember I said this not last week to you, 2 weeks ago, right? I asked the question. I said, I find it weird that they went completely silent for 6 weeks. I said, maybe they had plans to do a Shadow Drop, but plans changed. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. They were going to do a Shadow Drop. And
they decided.
That's right. Keighley approached them and said, hey, I would like to put you guys at the end here. And they went, okay. And you think about it, 171 million people tuned into that thing. That's more advertisement they've ever seen before, right?
Sure.
So even if they paid or didn't pay, whatever it is, we'll get into that in a second. That is huge. Okay. So the Shadow Drop plans, I don't think it would have been much better, though, because the game is incomplete. Regardless if it was pitched a month and a half ago or if it came out on Monday for the very first time and we didn't know anything about it, people would have played it and would have went, this game doesn't. I think people that like it right now wouldn't like it because they would have been like, oh, this game's incomplete. But because there's these white knights, because there's these blood cells that come, because there's these trash knights that like to defend anything, they're defending a game that's broke. It's a broke game. It's not fundamentally good. And yet people are protecting it.
I'm not protecting it. I know it's broke. I'm watching people play it. It's broke. But at the same time, they decided to go against what they wanted. The plan was to Shadow Drop. And they were hoping maybe to get the same kind of following as Apex Legends did with their Shadow Drop. But somebody in the office said, more eyeballs on the game, because they probably worked it out and said, the way we make money in this game is people have to stay inside the game and buy microtransactions.
Yeah, 100%. That's why it's free to play.
So rather than Shadow Drop it, the number of eyeballs on the Game Awards is better than us Shadow Dropping, so that's the better choice. Now, if the game was actually complete, like feature complete, it probably would have did better. But you know how this goes, because not only did Keighley help them by putting it in the last spot. Now, regardless of not if they paid for it, doesn't matter, right? That's irrelevant. Because if you do, listen, people can do favors for their friends.
Sure.
Right?
It's his reward show.
It's his fucking show. Right. But that being said, you have to be able to put your best foot forward. And so if you got the eyeballs, but then you can't close the deal because you were expecting what? You were expecting to be 75,000 meatballs who are going to play the game and just throw money at you. Was that the plan?
That's because what the plan was be.
Well, I say that because it's not like the current gaming population can't see through the bullshit. It's not like it was before where if you get 6 guys to say the game is great for 3 weeks straight, everyone says the game is great and they go out and buy it when it comes out. You know what I mean? Like those days are over, right? And not to mention the fact that the journalists who are defending this game, right? What the part that bothers me is the hypocrisy knows no bounds. The corporations and the game journalists are allowed to pump up a game, praise it 6 weeks out, push it in your face, tell you how awesome it is. They do a deep dive. They get interview the guys doing the deep dive. They do all this stuff. The game comes out and the game is trash, but they already sold 15 million copies, right?
Right.
Everything's fine in the universe. But if we take the same precedents and we take the same group of people, except now these are guys who play games, have a following, and say, I played the game, it's garbage, don't get it, right? So same apparatus, same media apparatus. Instead of it being a journalist, it's an
actual gamer.
It's an actual gamer who streams, who has a following. Same thing as if it was a journalist who has a following of their article.
Correct. Not paid by the corporations.
Right. Same thing, right? But for some reason, when we do it, and according to them, it's a negative. Now we're review bombing, right? So it's okay to use the apparatus to pump up a game to it until it sells, even though it's trash.
Of course, because it's them. They're pumping it up.
But if you have people who are defending the part that it is trash, we're trying to tell you guys not to buy it because it is trash. Now we're review bombing. You see how it's hypocritical to the nth degree, bro. You're not allowed to do the same thing, right? So cry me a river if the corporation loses money because you released a shitty product, but it's okay to pump up the product when it's shitty.
My problem is with all of this is they don't look at it like if the game is boring, the first 4 minutes of the game
it's
is
all feel
boring,
bro. It's not about
mechanics. But what I'm saying is, but they instead of saying, hey, this game is bad and this is why, they're like, you're a hater. You guys don't like it. Give it a chance. Give it 2 hours. Give it 5 hours. It's like, no, as a customer, I don't have to give you any time, 0 time. Your marketing that you showed at the Game Awards was it. That was the first impression. Hey, here's the game that we're making, right? If they changed where they weren't going to do, they were going to do a shadow drop, but they changed their marketing strategy and said, we'll take you up on this, Jeff, and we'll do this. But yet they didn't change it afterwards. They still had the marketing of no marketing for 6 weeks after launch. And they're like, we'll just do it on the day it comes out. First impressions. Well, your first impression already happened, right? Your first impression already happened with the trailer, and you went dead silent and didn't change anything. You didn't tell us if it was 3v3, right? Another article talks about how the game actually had 8 teams of 3. And they went, it just didn't work out very well because the game never ended. Well, no shit, because these guys are attacking these guys, and these guys are attacking these guys, and these guys are attacking. I was like, it would go on forever. So they, instead of going, well, let's remove some teams and just keep the same players and move them on to 2 teams or 3 teams, they went from 8 teams of 3 to 2 teams of 3. They're like, yeah, it sounds good. We're gonna launch that, right? So they changed their plan of not doing shadow drop, but yet they kept the same energy and stuff going forward, saying we're going to be like it's a shadow drop, even though everyone knows about the game already. 6 weeks, everyone was talking shit about it. And now the game comes out and it's incomplete. It's boring. It's incomplete. It's not done. They said they have a year's worth of content. Not planned, done. Done. A year of content, done. So that just shows me, let's fast forward 10 years ago, or I'm sorry, rewind 10 years ago, when Destiny had the Dark Below and the House of Wolves, and people were giving shit back then, and they said it's already in the game, but they locked it behind a paywall. And they went, no, they didn't.
And
no, they
did.
Yes, they did. Okay. And here we are 10 years, 11 years later, right? And you're telling us that you have a whole year of content for this game, but you chose to release it as a 3v3.
Slow drip.
Yeah. Boop.
Slow drip.
Boop. Because they needed people to come back and keep, right? And that right there is just, is mental. It's mental because if anything, you would start off with the 5v5, 6v6. And then if people like you, be like, hey, we're adding a new game mode, which is 3v3 now. Less people, smaller maps. Nope, that's not what they did.
Nobody gets mad when someone talks bad about any other product, right? You buy a Samsung refrigerator, right? Guy does a review on the Samsung refrigerator, goes, hey, I bought the Samsung refrigerator. The ice machine broke in the first week, right?
Don't worry, Sarge. They're going to fix it 6 months from now.
It doesn't hold temperature for some reason. It turns on defrost randomly. and my 6-year-old broke the screen by pushing on it too hard with his little finger. So I don't recommend you buying the Samsung refrigerator. It's a piece of shit. Right.
Yeah. You're a
Right.
hater.
Does
You
the articles of people who defend Samsung come out and start calling everybody who badmouths the refrigerator? No. Because we're allowed to say what the fuck we want to say. We play it, we reviewed it. I own the product. I could say what the fuck I want.
That's right.
I'm tired of the trash nighting, bro. Tired.
I actually have a script I'm writing about review bombs, right? Because it's getting out of control. It really is getting out of control.
They have nothing else to say but to call you a hater. Listen, this is how it works in the military, right? When you go to bomb a target, you get the highest amount of flak and missiles shot at you when you're directly over target. That's how that works. So if we're talking about the right thing at the right time, that's when all the crazies come out to defend, because you're directly over target. It works the same way, right? That's how you know. That's how you know you're telling the right. You're talking about the right subject, is when everyone tries to defend it.
Here's the next heading for another Highguard article, right? We don't need player count to be super huge in order to be successful. Okay,
I'm happy for you.
Let me show you this one. Is it this? Is it this? No, that's the wrong one. Is it this?
I'm happy for him.
Where the hell is my? Oh, I put it over here. I put it over here somewhere. I got the. Yeah, here it is. Right. Here's their player count right now. Right. All right. So they got 9,824. Okay. So when they say we don't need player count to be super huge. Now, I was on the Real Life Fake Wizards News show yesterday. Real Fake Wizard News. Right. And one of the questions came up about, can they make this? Can they stretch it out? Will they be here? I said they won't be here by next Game Awards. This game will be gone by next Game Awards. Okay, is what I said. But the player count, let me just clear my thoughts here for a second and say, okay, if they were originally going to shadow drop, okay, and they were not going to ever get the 100,000, 97,000 people, they were never going to get this number. Okay, this number here wasn't what they were looking for. They got this number because of the Game Awards. You can bet your ass for that. Okay.
Yep.
I believe that before the game came out, they're like, all right, what is our concurrent player? Now, remember, this is only on Steam. So let's just cut it in half. Let's say there's 15,000 people playing the game right now on console and PC. Okay. In their head, they're like, well, we need a consistent player base of around 10,000 people playing the game. And from those 10,000 people, 2% or 20% of the 10,000 people are going to buy a microtransaction. They're going to do something, right? So now when they come out with an article and say, well, successful, we don't need the player count. Maybe that's what they're talking about, right? We're looking at it going, well, they just lost 90% of their player base, but they might be looking at it going, hey, we're 8% higher.
Right. We got the 4,000 people that we wanted.
Right. We got actually higher than we actually thought we were going to get from the shadow drop, right? Remember, they're not a AAA company. They're an independent company publishing their own game, putting it out there. So maybe this number is good for them. I don't know. Again, they're saying that we don't actually need the numbers. Now, what's going to be the real tell is if they start making updates. Now, they did a patch today, okay, but they're going to start making bigger changes soon, which goes against... Right, which goes in my video that I made, goes into the fact of people are defending this game and they're like, oh, it's perfect. It's such a good game. You guys are just a hater. If it was perfect, then why are they fixing it? Explain that to me, Batman.
But that's what trash nights do.
But that's what I'm saying. If they are perfect with the game, then why are they going back to the drawing board and trying to fix it and make changes? Because if it was perfect, they'd be like, sorry, suck it. This is what we made, right? No, they're like, well, we lost a lot of people, right? They still lost 91% of the people, whatever it is. I think there's another article that says the percentage they lost. Where the hell is it?
But it's fine, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Right? It's fine.
I don't even know where it is. But they lost a huge chunk of their player base.
Well, look, according to the Trash Knights, they don't need a big number. Right? They just need a small number to play the game. They're going to go ahead with their updates. They're going to make the changes. Maybe they get 2,000 or 3,000 people to play it for the next 6 months, and they can test all the theories they want to test.
Right.
But at the same time, at the end of that 6-month period, if the number is still 2,000, and those 2,000 people are buying something, then I guess they're good, right? Like I don't wish Concord on people, right?
No,
But at
no.
the same time, when it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, I'm calling duck, bro.
Exactly.
Like I don't
want
to,
a Concord, but if you're trying to get one by me, I'm gonna call it out.
I don't have to respect the way you guys handle things. Like the whole point of this entire industry is you're trying to sell me something for the most money possible. I'm trying to get something from you for the least money possible, and we meet someplace in the middle. If this game has nothing interesting for me to give you money for,
yeah,
I don't want to give you anything for it. It's worth that. It's worth nothing to me, right? You guys want me to wander into a free-to-play game. You somehow want me to stay engaged with something that nobody has any liking to stay engaged with, and then you get mad because the thing that you want us to play is not interesting enough to play. I don't know what else to tell you.
Right.
This is not a MP. This is a UP. That's it. That's it.
So Highguard player count has already plummeted by 80%. Now, this article is from 347 yesterday, right? So I think it's actually gone down to 91% at this time. Okay, Highguard debuted the game, or actually one of the fascinating things about Highguard is how quick the release date would come out after the announcement. Okay, Highguard launched a little over a month after it was first revealed in the world, and despite the extreme online criticism leading up to the release, Highguard attracted thousands of players, right? See how they're spinning it? They're like, oh, it attracted so many players, ultimately overwhelming the game and leading to some serious technical issues. Do you see what they're blaming the amount of people that came into the game, and that's why there's technical issues, not because the game is broken and unfinished. Okay, nope. There was so many people that came to play it, right? It got serious technical issues, matchmaking problems that caused a review bomb. There it is, the review bomb. Okay, among other reasons, like a simple fact that the game is a hero shooter. How about you just call it how it is? Call a spade a spade. The game is boring and it's broke because it's unfinished. They put the bare minimal viable product out to see if they can get they'll cast the widest net. Okay. And on top of that, it really is a really niche competitive game. Okay. And yet they market it towards everybody. They market it's Highguard, right? It's going to be the greatest game ever. Why am I stopping to play Arc Raiders to play this? Why am I going to stop playing whatever other game you've been playing to come play a game that's broke, buggy, and unfinished? When you already play a game that was broke, buggy, unfinished, and you had to wait 18 months for the game that you're playing now to be fixed.
Well, the suits don't really understand the fact of time. They just think that people are out here with unlimited time, and then we just see something cool go by, we scream squirrel, and we throw money at it, and then we just start playing it. Like, they don't look at it as like the product that we're releasing has to capture the attention of the actual customer, and instead of saying, well, we released a game and it looks cool, why aren't you playing it? Like, I don't understand the entitlement. What is it about your game, as you said, makes me want to stop playing the games that I'm currently playing, that I'm having fun with? What is the attention grabber? Right? That's the question. And if you're not able to actually connect with somebody, to pull them off of whatever they're doing, to make them spend time in your game, then it didn't work. Whatever it is that you guys decided to do as a team didn't work, right? I don't shed tears for development teams. I don't know if you know this. This is game 265 of 18,000 for this year. Right? Right. Nobody is writing articles.
Pull a tissue.
Nobody's writing articles about any indie developers who have, I don't know, 3 divorces, shot in the leg, lost a finger, but continued to make the game and just put out a game because he loves gaming, right? Nobody's talking about any of that shit. You want to know why? Because nobody cares about them, right? They decided to get their herd of people, their herd of media guys, the journalists, as I call them, and they're going to defend the trash. Great. Spend your time just doing the trash defense. And then when the smoke clears and we bury you with the rest of the ET cartridges, right? That's the end of your game.
What a callback. Yeah, the ET cartridges.
That's the end of your game. Nobody cares, right? In another week and a half, when everyone stops talking about this game, we'll be talking about the next game coming out. And that's the cycle. And I'll have exactly 5 new names for the Trash Night defenders of these articles to write down to make sure.
Look at this.
I'm going to look at some people the next couple of weeks.
I love this part right here. while this is why it may worry those that actually like Highguard, it's not all doom and gloom, right? So here's a shit sandwich, right? It's a shit sandwich regardless how you look at it. But keep in mind, Concord's player count didn't even break 700 all-time peak, so Highguard is still widely more successful in that game. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And also, the turd that I took yesterday, that I took a picture of and put it online, got 100,000 likes. So what are you trying to say to me?
The fact that, again, the game has problems and they refuse to talk about the problems. They're like, well, it's still better than Concord.
Yeah,
it's not as bad as Concord. Like, you're literally picking the worst game that closed in 13 days. How about against Marvel Rivals, another free-to-play game that's very successful? How about another competitive game that's out that's doing very successful, right? Like, if you want to compare it to something, why don't you compare it to Splitgate 2, which is also struggling, right? I just, it's mind-boggling to me the way these people, is this the, I think we already wrote this guy's name down. Yeah, this is Dalton Cooper. We already wrote his name down. At least, I don't know if he's on your list, Sarge, right?
Well,
but
it's
so ridiculous. They just refused to say the actual problem.
There's no awareness. There's no self-awareness at all.
Look at this. I've played Highguard, and I believe the hype. Okay.
Right.
Now, he actually goes into, if I'm not mistaken, he talks about the actual bad parts of the game. And at the very end of his article, I'm pretty sure he's the guy that says, oh no, it's a different guy. He actually says there's a guy who actually calls and says like it's good. And he's like, but I'm not going to go back and play it. Right. Well, if it's so good, how come you're not going to go play it? Right. So here's another guy, a different guy that says, I've played Highguard and I believe the hype. How many games have you played in your life? Not you, Sarge. Cade here. How many games have you played in your life? And just write them down and go, was this game complete when I bought it? Yes. Was this game complete when I played it for free? Yes. This game complete after 18 months? Yeah. If this game is not complete, which it's not, free to play, pay to win, I don't give a shit what you want to pay. If you pay full price, no pay, nothing, game is incomplete. It's not done. It's a half-assed baked game, minimal viable product. And they're like, yep, believe the hype. It's so good. Which is counterproductive because if it's fixed 18 months from now and they come out and go, see, I told you it was good. It's good because the 92,000 people left the game and said the reason why they didn't play the game. And then they took that criticism and they put it and fixed the fucking game. Not because the people are just, this is so good. This is shit. This shit spoon is so good.
There will be too many other attempts at video games. Notice I said attempts. There will be too many other attempts at video games for the rest of this year to worry about this game next week. You just, if they fix it, whatever they do with it, listen, I'm happy for them to get their 3,000 people to give them money for the next 6 months. Right? What I would like to do though, because I mean we are pretty good at this now, is just to have a betting poll and we just go how many months before it's gone, and just we'll put everyone's name on the list and we'll pick the months and we'll see who's in and who's not. Like I like to have fun with it, but like don't tell me that the half-ass product that you released will be fixed at whatever time and date. Like I don't care. I don't. I'll see you soon.
Question for chat, right? Question for chat. They fix this game 6 months from now. Would you give it another shot? Or
you're going to be too busy on the game, bro.
Yeah, I know. I'm asking. 6 months from now, if this game is fixed and better than it's off, are you going to go give it your time to go back again? Or is it done? For me personally, first impressions are everything. Okay.
I mean, I know the titles that are supposedly coming out this year. If any one of them comes out, pretty much the attention grab is over. Right?
Yeah, just move on. Altern says I'll still be playing Crimson Desert.
Yeah.
Water says done deal.
Everybody, listen. Even at your worst, you have a backlog of games that you're willing to play before you pick up the updated version of Highguard 6 months from now.
I love articles like this. Highguard deserves a chance, so don't kill it out of spite. No, your chance was putting a game out on day one and it was complete. That's your chance.
But what do they mean by spite? You think I'm not playing it because I'm trying to spite the company? Like that's the answer? Like this is what I don't understand about these guys who write these articles. Like you believe that people out of spite won't play the game because their friend told them not to play it. You think that's how it works?
Right here, he says it's unsurprisingly this frankly unjustified hatred of the very concept of Highguard being a game exists has gone on to the plague its launch. No.
No, the quality of the game dictated that.
If people hated it ahead of time, if this game came out and it was fun, all that criticism before from the Game Awards to release day would have gone away, because they would have been like, oh man, this game is great. They would have jumped on the bandwagon super fast.
That's correct.
But the game sucks. So like, yep, knew it. Right? They said it sucked and it proved it sucked. That's why the hatred's here. Not because they were looking for it.
Nobody has that kind of power. The chat and us don't sit around talking about this game is going to suck, and then it comes out and it sucks because we wished it. Like, that's not how that works. Right? The game mechanics, the game, once again, the game speaks for itself. It doesn't matter what anyone says. You can play the game and try it out for yourself. The game will speak for itself.
Right. I'm reading here as I'm scrolling down. He never says the problems. Never says the problems. He says, "Oh, they're just it's a hodgepodge of things, and they're just not giving it a shot."
Yeah, that's because according to him, there isn't any. Right? That's
new projects.
There's no self-awareness
before given a fair shot. The fair shot is make a game.
The release day.
Yeah, make a game.
The release day is the fair shot. They go, "Hey, we're coming out with a game." You go, "Hey, when?" Monday the 13th. Cool. See you then. Right? And we go from there.
Within time, I'm hoping Highguard's performance issues can be fixed, more content can be added, and potentially even more impactful changes in the core gameplay. Right? I like larger teams and better looting, for example. He's literally saying it in the article right there. Larger teams would be better looting, right? But you're saying right now the game is perfect. People are giving it hatred because of no reason. But yet your suggestion right here is saying, I would like larger teams and better looting. That's criticism. That's the same criticism that we're all giving it, saying the front part of the game is broken, buggy.
Yes, but you don't get flown out to play a game for 6 hours. So you're a hater and I'm a urinalist. That's the difference. That's the difference.
Yeah, Rory Norris. That's the guy.
Yeah, the difference is I got flown out and you didn't. That's the difference.
Well, here's the number before we leave it for the night. 9,922 as of right now. 97,000. They've lost 82,000 people.
It's fine though, bro. Listen, if 10,000 people are still giving them feedback, it's a good day.
Oh no, these people that are playing are not giving feedback. These people that are playing it's the best game ever. There is no problems with this game.
And I'm happy for those 9,922 people. I'm happy for them. Right? Hey, listen. One game number 225 out of 18,000 for the year.
Yep.
No sweat off my balls, honestly. There will be plenty. There will be plenty of other games to discuss.
Speaking of games in trouble, right? Mass Effect's been being made for 2 years now, something like that.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think it's being made. I don't think it's in production.
Because I think seeking a production director for the new Mass Effect. So
I'm happy they're looking for a guy to be in charge of the production. What I'm telling you is I don't think there's ideas in books that they're looking at, but I don't think anyone started the game yet. Like there's no pre-production.
I mean, I hope a game comes out and it's good, right? It says new job listing shows Electric Arts is laying the foundation for the next game of Mass Effect series. So if they're just laying we're not seeing this until 2030 minimum.
Yeah, easy.
Right?
Easy.
It's been better part of a decade since the last release of Mass Effect series in 2017, Mass Effect Andromeda. Now EA has made a public move to secure a franchise director, and the new job listing for EA notes company is seeking a production director to serve as the leader of the next title in the game series. EA is hoping that the next new Mass Effect production director has 10 plus years experience in AAA games, deep ARPG and RPG knowledge, and proven team building. Current direction of the Mass Effect IP in November 2025, Mass Effect executive producer Mike Gamble proclaimed that EA and BioWare remain committed exclusively to the series and noted that they are more stories to tell in the universe. So,
see, if EA, this is how the real world should work, like in the real open market. If EA wasn't collecting money hand over fist for all its sports games, right? If they actually made a game, then the Mass Effect IP would be sold off to somebody else to help them stay afloat. And then somebody else will pick up the Mass Effect IP and actually do something with it. Instead, We have EA who death grips the IP, shits on it twice, doesn't care, and then proceeds to tell you that they're looking for somebody else to be the foundation so we can build a new Mass Effect game. Like, let's be honest, they don't care about the game, right? They care about their sports games. They care about the games that make them money. This is just an IP that's a hobby for them because they know they should have an RPG in the lineup, but they're not willing to put any kind of effort into completing one within a decade. Like, I don't. What are you doing with the title? Like this. I don't even know the word to call it. Like this coveting of IPs that you guys do nothing with because you're allowed to hold on to them forever. And then you expect the people who don't even know what the fuck it is because you held on to it for so long, the people who played it before are married with kids and out of the fucking loop, and nobody knows what the game is. So then you're gonna try to promote a game that no one knows what the fuck it is, half-ass, 20 years after the last game came out, and expect there to be some kind of renaissance on your fucking game. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It makes zero sense. What are you gonna do with the title?
Well, as Altern says here, he says if Saudi Arabia doesn't cancel it, which brings us to our next story here, which is U.S. Congress members want FTC to review the EA sale to Saudi Arabia because they're worried, right, that Congress is worried that EA sale could lead to more layoffs, right? So the lawmakers added to the deal of including $20 billion in debt being added to EA's after the sale. The new owners would incentivize to hold more layoffs in order to recoup the money. They also expressed worry that more offshore restructuring and studio closures could also come after the close of the deal. It says, quote, these actions could only jeopardize thousands of high-skilled American jobs, but also further concentrate already fragile labor markets for software engineers, artists, writers, testers, and other professionals who also skills are essential to the industry. So let's just say EA goes forward with Mass Effect, and then Saudi Arabia goes through the deal, and they're like, what is, just like you said, like, who knows Mass Effect? Who's going to buy Mass Effect? Should we even continue going to this? And they
should sell it off. They should sell it off to somebody else who wants it. Yeah, they should sell it. Listen, let's not pretend that anybody from Congress gives a shit about the EA.
No,
sale.
Someone brought them up. Someone brought it up to them. They didn't even know what's going on.
There's only two reasons why Congressmen would be involved in the stopping of a sale, right? They either believe it's got nothing to do with layoffs because every time a company buys another company, there's layoffs. That's 100% of the time.
Sure.
There's no way that they give a shit about it.
Because you don't know who's good or bad in your company, so you have to just come in, clear house, and then hire your guys.
Go back to the article title. I want to see the article title real quick. I want to see if it's specified or it's just general. Okay, scroll down a little bit. I'm looking to see if they're being specific. Right. If they're concerned about the people being fired, it would be a completely different circumstance, but it has to be political. So I think what they're worried about in actuality is because Saudi Arabia doesn't play the DEI game, right? So you're going to have the company, they're going to try to use it as, well, they're going to fire the people that don't deserve to be fired type of thing, as opposed to Saudi Arabia just says, we're running a business here. Who are the best people that we have?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what we think.
Who are the ones that are bleeding us, and we're getting rid of them. Like, that's standard operating procedure.
Yeah. If I'm running a business, it's none of your business how I run my business.
That's correct. That's how this works. Like, you should be more concerned about the things before they get this big. Like, you should have been concerned about EA before they became the monster that they are now. Now that somebody else is buying EA, now you're concerned. But you weren't concerned when EA was gobbling up everybody else, right? You guys didn't give a shit.
Right. Closing studios left and right. We used to call them Unicron.
Yeah,
they bought so many studios up and just destroy them and just spit them out.
Yeah, but no, there was no congressional insight.
No, nobody had a congressional meeting
then. Nobody cared, right? But as soon as Saudi Arabia is involved, now all of a sudden the big boys put their pants on and we're going to get involved. Get the fuck out of here. It's humorous. It's humorous to see that they all of a sudden that they start writing out their concern cards. Oh, dearest Madeline, I am so sorry I have wronged you. Dearest wishes, Sarge Mclusky. Like, nobody cares.
Yeah. The next thing to talk about, Sarge, is PlayStation 6. And you could put this take PlayStation 6 out of it.
Bro,
Just the next generation of
I already
consoles will be
we already talked
delayed
about this.
longer than expected. Analyst predicts
Well,
global economic market disruption led key analysts to believe that Sony will delay its next generation PlayStation 6 console to the PlayStation 5 lifespan to along the PlayStation 5 lifespan.
Yeah, and we've
right?
all lived through this before. And nobody died, and we didn't set
we
fire
already
to
had a
country.
console that lasted 11, 13 years.
11
years.
years.
It is.
11 years. Yes. So if we have to live without a PlayStation 6 for an extra 2 years, no sweat off no one's balls in this chat.
Yeah, because if it comes out, it was going to come out
cares.
2027, 2028. Now it's just
That's correct. That's correct. But that's the game, right? Like, are you so mentally incapacitated that you don't remember 2000 to 2011? Like, do you not remember?
I mean, people that weren't born then, maybe, other than that.
Like, do you not remember that we had the same console for 11 years and everyone was kind of cool with it? We would hang out and we wait for the next game to come out. Like,
there's people right now that are holding on to their PlayStation 4s. 58 million PlayStation 4 owners have not moved over to PlayStation 5. 58 million. Okay.
Like, I personally, in all honesty, I don't think it's a big deal, right? Because we've talked about this in the past. You have to remember that the tech sector of our country doesn't have governors. We don't have things to slow it down. We don't have laws and things in place that slows down the progress of anything in the tech sector. Whatever the tech guys think about doing, they do, and they release it, right? If someone's sitting around and they go, "Ooh, we just figured a new way to increase the speed of the graphics card by 30%," they go, "Awesome. How many parts do we need?" Whatever. And it comes out next year, and then they advertise the shit out of it, and a bunch of people buy it, and everyone's upgrading, right? We were in this upgrade war for a long time. That's the way it is. In every other sector of our country, there are governors in place where things take forever to develop or get better because there's all these rules. There are no rules in the tech sector, right? So now you say, okay, because of the shit that we're doing to everybody, we're just buying amongst each other, and we're creating an artificial bubble in AI. So we're not going to sell any of our products to consumers.
Good,
because we want to sell them to the data centers. And I'm just like, okay, you go ahead and do that, right? When it doesn't work, and they actually have to come back to the actual market for us to buy their product, what you should do as a true customer is, if let's say in the middle of next year, in the middle of 2027, they come out with a new graphics card, nobody buys it.
Yeah, nobody buy it.
Right? You should let them suffer because
they need us.
They don't care about you.
That's right.
They care about the dollar. And so when the dollar doesn't come from the data center anymore and it has to come from you again, you're gonna have to let them kiss your ass a little bit. You're gonna have to let it happen. Like you're not supposed to give it up so easily, right? You're supposed to let them court you a little bit, right, before you give it up, right? If somebody has to hold on to their PlayStation 5 for an extra 3 years, that person doesn't care. All he's interested in is when the next new game comes out. And as far as I can tell, based on past experience, if the developers have to sell for the console that they know as opposed to the console that they don't know, right, then all of a sudden optimization gets better, gameplay gets better, the game looks better, right? Everything gets better because all the development teams know how to make for that system.
That's correct.
Right? So we had the best games on PlayStation 2 and Xbox 360. We had the best decade ever because everybody wanted to make games, right? And they were comfortable because the development teams were like, you know what? We don't have to worrying about the next console because we don't know when it's coming. They don't announce it. They didn't say nothing. We're caught in this tech trap that we can't get chips. Remember, it was the same conversation, just different enemy. It wasn't AI. It was a different enemy that we couldn't get chips. So we held on to our old systems. It's the same, bro. It's the same.
Well, Ray, what you're saying is it says it won't happen. People with 10-year-old GPUs will buy whatever in a heartbeat, and they would be hurting themselves doing it because if they just wait, because if we're not getting any new GPUs, then the developers can't make any new games for the GPUs because there's no GPUs to make for. So they have to make it for the older hardware. So if the next one comes out and they're having 100,000 series that comes out 3 years from now because they finally want to go back to the market to the people that actually want to buy graphics cards, okay, and they come out with 100,000 series, okay, no one's going to buy them because there's no games that were developed for them. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're buying something that's not there. It's like when people bought 4K television sets when there was no 4K content being made for them, right? People were buying 4K TVs. They were selling 4K TVs, but there was no 4K content to watch on the 4K TVs. But they didn't care. They just heard 4K. It's better than what I have now, so I'm going to buy it. Okay? That's the problem. If it comes out, let's say that the new graphics card come out 2028. Don't buy them. And then 2029, all of a sudden, they'll be a lot cheaper, and you'll get a better deal. And you won't be an idiot for buying a more expensive graphics card that no one's making games for because no one had the graphic card to make the games for, to optimize it for it. It's very simple.
It's because you're putting the bend in the hose, right?
That's correct.
You're cutting off the pressure, so now there's no reason for me to figure out what's going on the other end. So when it finally opens up again, you got to give them like 18 months to figure out how those cards work, what the optimizations are, and it's a process. I really don't believe anyone will care. I think probably we'll have a small renaissance of indie games that come out because no one's worried about upgrading because you can't, right? The ones who can have the money, they can, but the most of the middle ground people will just play whatever they can play, right? It's not going to be like, oh God, it's been 8 months.
Yeah,
I haven't played a new game.
It's like you're starving.
I don't know if I can go on.
Go play one of the other 150,000 games that came out in the years that you still haven't played.
Plenty, bro.
I want to go back.
Stuff.
I want to go back up here to Jack Carr. Jack Carr says, just got a PlayStation 5 like 2 months ago. I'm not buying another console. I'm just not. I have a question for you, Jack. Thanks for showing up.
Congratulations, right? Jack.
I got a question for you. If it's not too personal of a question, why did you take so long to get a PlayStation 5? Okay. I know why. I have a PlayStation 4. I haven't bought a PlayStation 5 personally because I don't want to spend the $500 now, $650, $700 for a PlayStation 5. And to me, there's not enough games, first party games that I'm interested in. And that's why I haven't moved up to PlayStation 5 because they're coming to PC anyway. So I just want to know why. I mean, you just updated 2 months ago, meaning you've had your PlayStation 4 if you bought it when it first came out for like 9 years, right? You've had it for at least 9 years. So
because I lived through this already once, it doesn't bother me, but I don't respond to the gaslighting of the media telling me that because we're not going to get a new system and we're going to be stuck with the old system, that's a bad thing at all, that I have to upgrade. Like that doesn't affect me. Like I already know what this means, right? As far as I'm concerned, this means that the backlog will start going down. You know what I mean? Like you'll have plenty of time to play all the games that you wanted to play but didn't have time for because you don't have to worrying about any kind of upgrades or new games coming out, right? Because
Jack says, honestly, I refuse to buy a PlayStation 5. I sat out until my brother bought a computer and gifted it to me, honest to God. Well,
congratulations.
Your brother's gone. He's like, I'm done with this shit. I'm going to PC. And you're like, yeah. I'll take it. Yeah.
Congratulations, Jack. Yeah. That's one of the better hand-me-downs that a brother can give you.
Yeah, so 58 million people are like, nah, I'm good. Same with Xbox. There's still people on Xbox One.
But it's not a big deal. Like,
no, they're fine.
You understand that there's like 300 or 400 game studios out there now that know because of this know that there's no system coming out now. But they still have to make games, right, bro?
Yep.
You still have to make games. Yep. Right now, if you have to make games in order to survive, and you found out that only half of the people who have a PlayStation moved over to PlayStation 5, only half, right?
No.
So are you going to try to sell to just that 75 million? Or do you want to sell it to the whole 150 million?
PlayStation already made an announcement this spring. They're done. They're done supporting PlayStation 4 because they have to try to shove people to PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Right? They've been sending emails out to people going, hey, you might want to buy these brand new games that came out to PlayStation 5 this year. And you're like, no, I'm good. I'm going to play Call of Duty again for the next 6 years.
But you have to be careful what their wording is. If they say they're not going to support it anymore, that's one thing. But if all of a sudden you can't play games anymore because you can't get online,
no, they're not
with the
making
PlayStation 4
any games anymore for it. I don't know if they're shutting down services and stuff. That's fine. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, but I don't think for a second that the development teams are going to be making games for only PlayStation 5. because they have to sell titles, bro. You have to sell titles.
Well, here we'll show this one, right? Because this is a Helldivers 2 thing, right? So we talked about this a couple months ago, but now Helldivers 2 has sold 20 million copies.
You got actual numbers? Hang on a second. You got actual numbers?
Yeah, they have the numbers, right? So Helldivers 2 has sold 20 million copies.
Okay.
So it continues to hit records. Obviously, it hit the number 20 million. So that's a big number. You announce it, right? So 20 million copies sold across the platforms this month. Based on copies sold alone, Helldivers 2 has generated over $700 million in gross revenue, accounting for regional pricing, historical discounts, of course. Helldivers is keeping engaged with 3.6 million dive in last month across Steam, PlayStation 5, and Xbox. Our estimates show that 250,000 gamers have played Helldivers 2 for over 500 hours. Super Earth is in good hands. So here's the big number here.
Oh, I love it.
So
I love
200
it.
million copies sold, all platforms, 700 million, 3.6 million MAUs, okay, as of December 2025. Helldivers has 13.1 million copies sold on Steam, okay, 5.6 million on PlayStation, and 1.6 million on Xbox. Now, I did the math.
Did you do the math already?
I did the math already.
All right,
okay.
so what's Xbox and PlayStation?
Okay, so Xbox, because they have 28 million consoles out there, right? And they have 1.6 million. It's around 4.4%
of the people who own Xbox
of the player base.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Sony has 5.6 million, but they have 84 million.
Correct. A bigger
consoles
number
out there,
bigger
and
number.
they're around 4.7.
So same percentage.
Same percentage
Same
across
percentage.
the board because
Okay.
of what it is, right?
And then Steam.
And then Steam, there's 130 something million Steam users.
Way bigger number.
Yeah, and this is about 10%. So 10% of the Steam user base is playing Helldivers.
Okay, so
and 4% on both consoles.
So there you go. So if 4% of the people on a console buy your game, you're successful. 4%.
Yeah.
4%, right? The numbers, once again, numbers.
Well, no.
speak.
Well, you're saying you don't need 4%. No, they need more than 4%, Sarge, because if it was just a PlayStation game,
No. I'm saying of the console. I'm not saying just the one console.
Oh, you're saying of the console percentage.
4% of PlayStation, 4% of Xbox. It's a successful game.
But right here, this should show everybody that all Sony games are coming to PC, right? They might not all be coming to Xbox, but all PlayStation games, first-party titles, I don't care if they're live service or single-player games.
Eventually, yes.
They're eventually going to be coming. I don't know if it's going to be day and date. That gap is closing in. Okay. So Helldivers sold 13.1 million. If they were just on PlayStation, okay, they sold 14.7 million units not on PlayStation. Okay. So PlayStation, the reason I'm bringing this up is because PlayStation, 58 million people are still on PlayStation, 4. Okay. Haven't moved over. The users that have PlayStation 5, only 4% are buying the first-party title of Helldivers 2 on the actual console that's out there, even though it's 84 million shipped, not sold. But 84 million shipped out there, 5.6 million. And I would say this is pretty high, right? Because you have Astrobot sold like 3 million, right? Forza Horizon, which is an Xbox game, sold 4 million, right? I think Sea of Thieves sold like 3 million copies, right? So a lot of people, they're just playing Call of Duty on PlayStation. They're just playing Madden football on PlayStation. They're playing Fortnite on PlayStation, Minecraft on PlayStation, right? So there's a lot of games like that, but these are good numbers to see, right? So 20 million, congratulations to Helldivers or Arrowhead for hitting that. But yeah, this number right here is 13.1 million. You better believe your ass. They're like, yeah, I don't care if this number is just like an extra 3 million, right? For God of War or Spider-Man or whatever else that comes out, that's 3 million copies more that they would have on PC, and they didn't have to wait that much longer. That's 700 million. Obviously, because they can take their cut and put it towards another game that's happening or whatever, is huge for Sony and huge, obviously, for Helldivers. And Helldivers is struggling right now, okay? And they're at 20 million copies sold.
Yeah, but once again, they already got the money. It's fine, right? Listen, how long a game lasts in the universe is insignificant compared to the money it makes while it did it. Right? It's okay for a game to come out, a bunch of people buy it, and after 6 months or a year, they stop playing it. The company got their money enough to make another game, and they begin production of another game. right? This constant incessive behavior that you have to be inside a game for fucking ever is absurd. You can't keep multiple studios open, resting on the fact that you're trying to get everyone to be in your game as long as possible. It doesn't make any kind of fiscal sense. It just doesn't. You want to make the game, sell the game, and move on to the next game. If it happens to hang around for a little while, then that's completely cool. It hangs around for a little while, but not because it has to hang around in order for us to make any money. Otherwise, we're fucking done. That's ridiculous, right? So what they're saying is, I would not only want to compete with every other game that comes out this year, but I want to compete on every other game that's also an online always game that I have to be competing at. Why? Why would you want to compete against all of that for your slice of the pie? Sell your game, collect your money, good, bad, or indifferent, move on to the next game.
Right. Look at this stat. Games with co-op modes generated $8 billion on Steam alone in 2025. Steam gross revenues of all games on Steam with co-op modes. Obviously, they're not showing all the games here, but they're showing the bigger ones that came out. In 2025, Steam revenue generated by games with co-op modes up 9% year over year. So in 2024, it was $7.8 billion, and then this one is $8.2 billion. And that some of the guys there are Schedule One, Peak, Split Fiction, Repo, Monster Hunter Wilds, RV There Yet, Borderlands 4, and Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders is huge on PC, man. They're killing it. But look at this is all co-op games over the years. It's grown a lot more co-op games. And I said that actually today. I was like, I like co-op games. Even that game that we were looking at today, Crimson Desert, I was like, man, if I just get one extra person in that game and just be co-op. I suppose they're doing an online thing, but not official yet. But yeah, so 8.2 billion in co-op games, just in 2025 is just huge
because they're usually fun, right?
Yeah, they're fun.
Playing with your friends is fun. That's the whole point. So you telling me that co-op games or sales are going up? I'm like, and water is wet. As long as the game is good, yes.
I'm trying to find what time is it? We got 9:22. Oh, I want to talk about this one, and chat can help out on this one because I'm a little confused by this story, Sarge. I'm a little confused by this one. Let me see if I can find it. I didn't understand it because, all right, here it is. It's a Hasbro story. Okay, I read this multiple times to myself, and I was very confused, chat, and I'm surely I don't have an answer here. I need chat to help me figure this out because my brain is hurting. Because I'm like, why are the shareholders suing the company? I'm going to read it to you, chat, and you guys let me know, okay? So it says that Magic the Gathering has been some of the biggest changes throughout the past years. Crossovers have become mainstream. Magic the Gathering product lineup expanding from limited releases to full-blown expansion based on the franchise of Final Fantasy, Spider-Man, Wizards of the Coast. Hasbro have also significantly ramped up the production cycle for the game in recent years, officially moving to release 6 standard legal sets per year and even playing this, a 7th full expansion launch in 2026. Okay, now Hasbro shareholders have finally had enough of Hasbro's modern management of games. Okay, it says a new lawsuit filed by multiple Hasbro shareholders suing the company for mismanagement of the Magic the Gathering brand, led by shareholders Joseph and Alton. Okay, the lawsuit alleges that Hasbro has been printing too many Magic the Gathering expansions, causing pre-existing sets to rapidly lose value. Now, I'm confused here because these are shareholders, right? And you would think as a shareholder, if Hasbro is making money by printing cards and people are buying these cards, right, Sarge and chat?
Yeah.
That the secondhand market, if I have a Gathering card, it's a collective card, that's a secondhand market that has nothing to do with Hasbro. So I'm confused on how they're selling or suing Hasbro because they're doing their job of printing cards. Can someone explain this to me? I'm a little confused by this.
Well,
Krebsy says too many cards burning down the value of the cards down. Value of the secondhand market.
Right.
Which has nothing to do with
Hasbro. Magic sells cards. That's what they do. They're
Right.
not charging you extra money because there's less cards. The card pack costs $650 or whatever it is now. and that you're buying a pack of
Right.
cards.
People are buying cards.
Right. Now, if I go through the pack of cards and I go to my local vendor and I say, "Hey, I got a bunch of doubles. Can you give me money for these?" and the vendor knows what he can sell them for,
Oh, now
then,
that you're saying
then
it,
his money might go down because there's more cards. But that sale has nothing to do with the actual shareholders of Hasbro.
well, maybe that's what it is, right? Because everyone knows there's too much in print, they're not buying the cards because they're not going to be as valuable, right?
But you're
I don't
buying,
know.
but you're buying the cards.
Yeah,
'cause
you're
you
buying
like
the
playing
card.
the game,
Right.
not because you're trying to retire.
That's what I
Right,
don't understand. Hasbro's selling the cards because that's their job. They're making cards and selling the cards. See, chat's a little
Okay,
confused as well.
okay,
Maybe
so-
because they can't sell the cards, so
but
they
the-
probably
but the
have
guy-
storage full of cards and don't sell because the value is down.
Okay, but let's back up.
Yep.
They're using the word shareholder.
Yeah,
Right?
shareholders are suing.
That's somebody.
Hasbro.
That's somebody who has stock in Hasbro.
Well,
If
here, let me read a little bit
Hasbro-
more. Let me read a little bit more here. Okay.
Yeah.
It says, among the many official claims listed within Hasbro lawsuit are breaches of fiduciary duty, waste of corporate assets, and violation of the Exchange Act, along several others. See, I'm confused by that because their fiduciary duty is to sell,
product.
It's
To sell product.
Yeah. So I'm very confused by this.
Now, I believe you when you say the second-hand market.
Yeah, the second-hand market would be
the value of the cards goes down. That's without a doubt, right? Because people, let's put it this way. Let's say over the course of 6 months, I'm a crazy magic head person, right? And I spend $800 on cards, right? But I still don't have the cards I need that I'm looking for.
right.
I go to the vendors now and I'm looking online or eBay or whatever else, and I find the cards that I need because there's a lot of them. And I can go out and buy them through secondhand. Yeah, the value of those cards
Right.
is down because there's a lot of them. But I still paid the $650, $800 worth of cards.
That's why I don't understand.
to-
I'm on
to
the same
Hasbro.
page as you, Sarge.
I don't understand.
I'm lost on this one, chat, because I'm like, oh, they're suing Hasbro. That's why I read the article. And then I was reading the article. I was like,
But a shareholder wouldn't care about the secondary market. He cares if Hasbro's making money.
right, the shareholder must have a secondhand market. And that's why he's suing Hasbro, because he's ruining their market. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I would think that would be counterproductive, because now you have a market off to the side and you're a shareholder for Hasbro. And because Hasbro's printing too many cards, it's affecting your secondhand business because people are not buying the high-end cards because it's not valuable anymore because there's so many of them. It lowers the value of those cards.
Yes, but the people who play Magic, once again, they're playing Magic because they like to play Magic.
Play the card game, right.
Not because they're trying to retire. They're not looking for cards to hang on to. Listen, the days of the original set and $50,000 to open up an original box set, like that kind of shit, that's over, right? That's why those cards are worth that much money, because there was a limited print back then. Not because they planned it. That's just what the run was. We moved on. Now, all of a sudden, because those cards are worth money, now we're supposed to only print so many of these other ones. Otherwise, we'll disrupt the secondhand market so much. Like, I don't understand what you're talking about.
I would say this is true, Altern, but as I read farther down, which I didn't read for you guys, they're talking about how they have other ones coming out. Like they have like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Marvel
many.
Superheroes, The Hobbit, Star Trek.
Yeah,
They have
that's
all
too
these
many.
sets coming out, right? So that's what I'm a little confused about, because Teenage Mutant Turtles is its own set of Magic cards, and then Marvel Superheroes is their own set of Magic cards. So they would be unique in their own little section.
Right. They're trying to expand the market within the card market because they're making it specific with those heroes on them. So certain people would buy those cards, right? Because they're not happy with the sales that they have now, because, right? That's what's going on. Now, I understand that part of it, right? Now, if they blitz out all these kind of sets just because they have heroes on them, then maybe there's something in there that they could probably, but I don't understand the suing of it, though.
The main thing here, it says Hasbro shareholders are suing the company over mismanagement, taking issues with recent decisions and made the beloved card game. Hasbro stands out to be the biggest juggernaut. I just don't understand.
I want this.
I need to know more.
Yeah,
I need to know more.
I want to know what's going on for real.
Eric says bingo 30. Bingo for what? Did I say something you agree with that
Yeah,
you think I got it spot on?
1,000% that the secondary market gets destroyed. 1,000%.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
right? 1,000% the secondary market gets destroyed because there's too many cards.
Yeah, if
But
I have a Charmander for Pokemon, okay, and there's only 10 of them in existence,
Yeah.
my value of that card is extraordinarily high. But all of a sudden, they start printing a second print of that and a third print of that. It brings that cost down. I get that for the secondhand market, but Hasbro doesn't care about the secondhand market.
No,
They
Hasbro
just
don't
care
give a
about
shit.
making product to sell the product to people that are collecting.
Right, because that's how it affects their stock
So
price.
if you're a shareholder, to say mismanagement is that, well, they're printing too many cards. What are you talking about? They're selling cards. Now, Altern's saying that maybe no one's buying them and they're printing too many and no one's buying them, then that I can understand. But if people are still buying them.
Yes, understandable. But your own marketing team would know what the volume of cards you're selling is, right? Based on previous numbers. So if I sell 3 million cards a year on average, I'm not going to make 12 million cards for no reason. Like what kind of, if that's the case that they're talking about, that makes more sense to me then. Then you're saying they don't, but if that's basic business, if your flow of cards is 3 and you're making 12 a year and you're just wasting money, 100% I agree, but I don't know if that's it. I don't know if that's it.
Says ChatGPT says Hasbro is printing more cards than there is demand, giving the look that the cards are more popular than they, thus giving investors wrong info. I guess
but you have to say your sales, not what you printed.
Right.
It's still under the normal business models here. If I print out a bunch of cards, I can't say, okay, let's put it this way. If Hasbro's printing 12 million cards and only selling 3, and then they're saying they're selling 6, then 100% the guys have to sue the shit out of them.
I think maybe that's what it is.
But otherwise, I don't understand.
But I think they're getting around it though, because they're making the Turtles, Star Trek, Star Wars, superhero. You know what I mean? Because they're different sets.
Different sets.
They're different sets, and that's why they're saying we're putting out.
Gotta collect them all.
Yeah,
gotta collect
we're
them
putting
all.
out 1 million cards, and we're only selling.
Right. I know. I get it.
I would have to know more about this, but I was a little confused. I was like, why are they suing the company when they're selling? Like, I was like, I hate Hasbro. Yeah, I was like, I'm all for them suing. I was like, but why are they suing? Yeah, the shareholders suing them because they're selling cards.
To sell as many cards as possible. Yeah.
Yeah, I like my thing, Jones. I think the guys are in the secondhand market because that secondhand market is ridiculous.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Right? They're mad. Yeah. Right? 2 guys are mad because the secondhand market's about to get destroyed, and Hasbro doesn't care because they're still making their money. But now the guys who have the secondary market are like, you're ruining my income.
Right, you're ruining my extra money coming in. All right. Oh, I forgot to bring this up during Concord, right? We talk about like trash nights and stuff like that. Okay, real quick, right? Fran Miller-Bella, who was with IGN, now a streamer and whatnot, independent journalist, I guess. He says the first day of streamers used reviews of PvP shooter Highguard on Rolling In. There are 13,500 global reviews at the time of posting this. Reviewer playtime, 49% played less than an hour, 18% played less than 2 hours, and 3% played more than 4 hours. So he says review recommended playtime 1+ hours, mostly negative, right? So 49% that played 1 hour, mostly negative. If you played 18% for 2 hours, 2 hours is mixed. Okay, 4 hours plus is mixed, and then 5+ hours is mostly positive. What I love about this, Sarge, and I know this really doesn't mean anything, is the fact that they had to go in and figure out the percentages of who played what for how long, and then what their negative reviews are, is above and beyond trash nighting, right? Because you're looking to like, I don't know why this game is so good or bad, but the people that say it's bad is they have less than an hour. I don't need to eat a full steak to know the first bite of the steak is fucking undercooked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, this doesn't taste good.
Well, they're trying to associate time played with actual review. Now, your analogy sticks. The 49% of people who played it for an hour, let's go into that more. Let's say that those 49%, I want ages,
right? I
want sex, and I want how many years of gaming have you played, right? That's what I want from that 49%. Because I can guarantee you those 49% have been playing video games for over 10 years. For over 10 years, and they know exactly when a turd is in their face.
How
So
much
you
of the
don't have
49%
to-
is people that played first-person shooters before?
right?
Independent first-person shooters,
right.
right?
They know what a game is supposed to be, and so they decided that I'm only giving you an hour. That's all I need to give you.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. So I forgot to bring that up.
But you need to put that. Don't lose that article. Put that in a different folder, because I want to see that same energy of dividing up the people who play a game for so many hours. I want that brought up again when we bring it up another game, because that's a really good one to use, because that's just ridiculous to try to use percentages for hours played in a negative context of how people don't know if a game is good or not. I mean, I don't know how long you have to be in the gaming industry to understand what good and bad looks like. Like, I don't think you have to be in that long. Like, if you're an avid gamer and you've been playing for like 3 or 4 years, like, you might like certain things and not like certain things. That's fine. But I think you pretty much know if the game is not worth your time.
Of course. Like, it makes no sense to me that people, because you want to play a game longer or whatnot, right? Doesn't mean that I have to play it as long, right? I can see a game, like, I play survival games all the time. So if a new survival game comes out and it doesn't have the bare minimum of what all the other survivor games have, I'm like, nah, I'm out, right? Like, you put it in a chest, it automatically organizes, right? You could just dump everything and instead of going one to chest to everything, right? If the bare minimum now, if you make a survival game, if your survival game doesn't have the automatic sorting from one chest and it goes into all the other chests, I'm done, because you're going backwards now, right? We've moved on. This is why I always say the bar is set. So the bar for first-person shooters is set. Just because you have a new genre of first-person shooter in here, okay, you make it and go, well, this is unlike any other game. You're right. It's incomplete. These other games are complete, or they weren't complete and they had 18 months in the can and now they're complete.
I wonder if Congress cares that people are paying full price for games that are not ready when they release. I wonder if they care about that part.
Right. Z says 3%. 3% is the modern audience. That's I guarantee you the modern audience is less than 3%. Speaking of like first-person shooter games and genres and stuff, I went over yesterday a bunch of games, and I said this before you got into the stream, Sarge. I said trains are taking over survival genres, and there are half a dozen survival-based builders on rails in 2026. Now, I looked at all of these yesterday, and I was like,
yeah, I didn't understand what the hell was going on.
So I read this, I went, and the first thing I said before you even got in, because you came in late, I said, isn't it strange that there's 6 to 7 train games, survival games, all coming out in 1 year? Which you have to imagine that all 7 companies,
the odds
4 years ago, were all
odds.
sitting around going, you know what we should do? We should make a train game as a survival game. Everyone's else like, yeah, we should do that too.
The odds are astronomical, bro.
Right.
The odds of that is astronomical.
It's like being struck by lightning like 6 times. It's
almost
six times.
It's almost as if the smaller studios band together to try to start a trend, and so they decide to make a product all the same, and then when they release it all at the same time, people start to think this must be something that's new because everybody's making one, so I'll try it. Right? This is how you try to start a trend, by having smaller studios all make the same type of game. That's my theory, because otherwise it's impossible to believe that guys sitting around a table thinking up new game ideas all come up with the same idea and then all make it and then call each other and say, hey, don't release yet. We want to release all at the same time.
Right. It's amazing to me. So there's 6 games. I'm just going to read them off. There's Frost Trail. There's Everrail. There's Engine Fall.
The one I came in.
Water Bear made this joke. If it has fall in the title, just skip it. If it has fall in the title, just skip it.
But the one you were looking at looked like Snowpiercer.
That's this one. I think Frostliner. I think it was
like that's
all the different biomes. Yeah,
Snowpiercer.
Oh no, Frost. This one was Frostpunk type of stuff. Was it Steel Arc? I think Steel Arc's the other one.
There was one that you were looking at that was straight up Snowpiercer.
Yeah, the Snowpiercer one. Hold on, it's this. It's this.
The whole trailer reminded me of Snowpiercer.
One of them says it's exactly like Snowpiercer. This one's actually pretty good. This is a co-op survival one. Was it Everrail? No, Everrail was the more sci-fi one. I think it was Engine Fall. I think Engine Fall was the Snowpiercer one. Yeah, this one's the Snowpiercer one. This was straight up Snowpiercer, the one that says Engine Fall.
Yeah,
that's the one you stay away from because it has fall in the title.
All I know is that if the game is based solely on a train engine, everyone's living on a train on a track, I'm not gonna be the crazy psychopath who derails the motherfucker and ends this fucking shit. Like, what do you? Like,
I actually like the concept.
Who's allowing this dystopian fucking train to travel the globe, fucking with people, and no one derails this motherfucker? How's that work?
Maybe it's
everybody's got weapons and explosives and all kinds of shit, and no one tried to derail this shit yet.
Well, I think that's why most of them take place in the snow, because people wouldn't be able to survive, and that's why they have to be on the train.
We have people who don't give a shit about nothing.
No, I know.
We'll walk out and put shit on a track to try to derail a train. We got crazy people here.
As an open world survivor guy, I love survival games. As one, I think it is cool because even when I played Minecraft, I even said it to you a long time ago.
It's interesting.
Well, I hate that you build a house and your house is just there, and you like Minecraft is completely unending. Like you can just keep going, right?
Well, now it is.
Well, even when back in the day it was huge, but you would find a spot within like, I don't know, 3 football field lengths away from where you spawned. You're like, I'm gonna make my home here, right? And then that's all you do, right? Same with Hightail. Hightail at least has portals and stuff like that. Obviously, they have the redstone and they have nether portals and stuff in Minecraft. But before, it was just like you're stuck in that one spot, right? This is a cool concept because you're on a train and you're building your base. The base is the train, at least in this first one, right? And it's constantly growing as you're expanding, and you have to move your train to find different towns, different places to find equipment and resources to then bring into your train to make your train better and move on. I like the concept. I just think it's really funny that there's 7 fucking games coming out, all doing the exact same thing in some way, shape, or form.
That's not coincidence.
No, of course not. This is why you have all these hero shooters. This is why you have all these 3v3 games of PvP games coming out. This is why you have Arc Raiders and Marathon all coming out around the same time.
Are all the studios AA, or is there a AAA studio in there?
I don't think there's any AAA. From all the ones that we watched yesterday, none of them look AAA.
All right,
they
so
all look smaller,
mid-tier studios.
Indie devs. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I don't get me wrong. I think it's interesting. I like the concept, but you can't expect me to just take it as face value that it was all coincidence that everyone comes out of the train game.
Right. Another quick story here. We got Battlefield 6 dropped out of the top 10 most played console games in the U.S. Again, it's very specific. Top 10 console games in the U.S., but Call of Duty is doing just fine. So on this list from Matt Piscatella, this list shows.
I mean, all that means is the COD players who were playing Battlefield stopped playing Battlefield
and moved over to COD. Yeah, that's exactly right. Right. But on the PlayStation list, Call of Duty is number 2. On the Xbox, Call of Duty is number 2. And on Steam, Call of Duty is not on the list. Right? It's not on the list. But Battlefield is not on the PlayStation list. And Battlefield is not on the Xbox list. And I think Battlefield is number 3 over here. So when you go look at the charts of Battlefield, it's very low. It's not as low as Highguard, but it's there. And again, this is only on the US. And a lot of people are talking, that Call of Duty again is the shittiest Call of Duty ever. But I'm telling you, when it's all said and done, everyone says Battlefield beat Call of Duty, but it's
for a month
before it came out.
Yeah.
And when 12 months passed, okay, or
Call of Duty
6 months.
I think the shittiest Call of Duty game will still outsell Battlefield.
Will still outsell Battlefield 6, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting that Battlefield can't stay on the list.
You know what my biggest disappointment for this month coming up now is I have to watch the Patriots in another Super Bowl.
Oh, I don't care.
I know you don't watch. I know you don't care.
I'm not even watching the Super Bowl.
I'm not even a sports guy, right? But I thought that the story for guy drama, I thought the story of the Denver Broncos going to the Super Bowl would have been the better story.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
But didn't they? Again, I haven't been following. Didn't their quarterback get massively injured? And
that's correct. And the backup guy stepped up, did a good job, came out of nowhere. It would have been a better guy drama thing. But
who are they going up against? I don't even know.
Seahawks.
Oh, the Seahawks beat the Rams. All right.
Yep.
Grounded 2, speaking of survival game, Sarge, Grounded 2 has a massive update. Grounded 2 has a whole new section that they've opened up in the game. And they've also added a snake. I saw the snake in a video today, Sarge.
It looked a little big, bro. Like if it's that big,
yeah,
you'd
it
be
looked
dead.
gigantic. Yeah.
Like, yeah, but if you had a snake that big, you'd be dead. How are you supposed to fight it? You'd be dead.
Well, it's a garden snake, so it's not like a cobra or.
I'm not saying it doesn't matter if it's a cobra or not. The fact is that it's like 8 or 9 times the size of you. The mouth would just open up and swallow you. Like it's not even something you could fight. You would just be swallowed. You know what I mean?
That's why you have. The spider could kill you. Just.
I like the spider because the whole game is based around insects and whatnot. What the fuck is the snake in there for?
Well, it's a garden. He's in the park.
But now what eats the snake? What's going to attack a snake? Nothing's going to attack a snake.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The snake's probably not a. It eats like eggs and it's not eating like
rodents.
Meat.
Snakes eat rodents. We don't have rats in the game.
I think there is like a mole or something, isn't there? Or they were going to put something in. I don't know. All right, maybe it eats you. Anyway, they're putting a Toxic Tangle update out. Okay, which has a new Tang. They put Tang on the ground, like the drink, whatever Tang. They put that down on the ground, so it's like a poison that they have. They have a ladybug in there now, and they also a ladybuggy. And can you finally
get the ladybug to be one of your pets?
Yep, ladybug could be a pet, and you can also put a turret on top of her so she can shoot. So it looks pretty OP, and maybe that's how you kill the snake.
So wait, is the turret on her by herself, and she runs around walking and just shoots, or you have to be ladybug with the turret?
You have to be on the ladybug with a turret.
Okay.
Yeah. So 11 new creatures. Colossus Snake is in there. New tier 3 equipment. New tier 3 Omni tool unlocks. Mushroom set, pumpkin set, new furniture, new basic defenses. That's what's happening now. All right. Coming in the future, you got playground updates with Steam Deck verified, ROG Ally, Playgrounds mode, create, upload, and share Playground. So you have like a creative area inside that map, grass box, map, Brook Hollow Park, improve voting system. Spring update, you got Black Anthill. You have a hot deposit improvements, new orc abilities, buggy buffing. You got Black Ant Buggy, you got a buggy milk molars, you got buggy mutations, and you got buggy buff hut. You got new armor, new weapons, half railings, complete mushroom set, complete pumpkin set, new furniture, Everchair grill, and tool set buggy racing. So they're putting a buggy racing inside there. Summer update, you got Steam Deck crossplay. They cross something out they don't want you to see. Okay, but that's some new area you can go in.
Yeah, but why is it crossed out? Why isn't it just off the list?
Well, they want to keep it a surprise. They want to keep this one a surprise as well, a new buggy or whatever. Swimming 2.0, zip lines are coming in, water buggy coming in, watery creatures are coming in, new equipment, watery bases, and then future plans. They have active mutations, new buggies.
I want more realistic spiders. I want more realistic
spiders.
Yeah.
New building materials, new tool sets.
And it's the one that gives you the biggest fear. It's the one that gives you the biggest fear when you see
there is a big spider in there that you fight. You actually fight the spider from Home Alone. Axel, the guy, Kevin's brother, in the movie Home Alone that gets out. Yeah. That's the spider that's in the park, basically. That's one they. So it's in the game already.
So is it a Grounded 2 and a Home Alone crossover?
I guess it could be. I mean, obviously, if the spider's in the game, then it takes place in the Home Alone universe, right? That's canon now. So,
speaking of canon, did you please tell me you saw it that as soon as Kathleen Kennedy stepped down, all of a sudden the scripts for Darth Talon came out?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Right? Did you see that? Like it was like immediate?
Yeah. Well, they came into the park. They have the guys in the park, and now Talon is going to be
Now they're thinking about Darth using.
I told you. I said it for years. She's the cork in the bottle, man. They didn't.
Yeah, we all knew it.
She was stopping. She said it. She said it. When she's like, "We have no material. We have no material. There's no source material. We have no books. George Lucas didn't write any scripts. What the fuck?"
They came out again too. They said that the scripts.
Of course they did. Yeah, of course they did.
Bro, it's incredible. It's so infuriating for there not to be any self-awareness.
All right, I'm gonna bring up the banner if you guys want to ask us questions. While that's why is that red or not red? If you have good questions, you can hit question. Put a Q in front of your thing. We'll mark it in the chat.
All right, so are we going to watch the new games coming out, or do you want to talk about Darth Talon?
I mean, there is a video here that we can. It's 11 minutes and 54 seconds. It says 10 new games coming out in February. We can watch that.
Let's we have 10 minutes. Let's play that.
All right, let me
do 1.25 or 1.5.
All right, hold on. Share screen.
Let's see what's coming out. I want to see some shit. Do you think you'd be all right with a female evil person?
Sure.
For the enemy.
As long as it's that's us.
I read the comics. I read the comics that she was in. I liked it. I thought
that's
she was
the wrong one.
She's like a femme fatale, you know.
That's not the one. Open tab. Which one is it? Oh, it's that one. There it is. Top 10 games. There we go. All right. I mean, yeah, why wouldn't I? As long as the fucking story's good, I don't give a shit. Right? Look, I just want games to be complete, and I just want things to be good. That's it. I want things to be good. If the thing's not good, I don't watch it. You can call me a hater, you can call me a sexist, you can call me a racist, you can call me whatever you want. You
I don't
put
want
product out there.
If I see a bad product, I'm not going to support it because I don't want them to make another one. That's how this works.
All right. So we got top 10 new games. Let's check it out.
Coming in hot. You got
Let me see if you guys can
comedy shooters, Japanese mobsters, and Resident Evil coming at you. Hi, folks. It's Falcon, and today on Game
Sarge, can you hear it?
Yeah, I'm good. Let it go.
Okay.
Makes the top 10 new games of February 2026. Starting off at number 10, it's Aces of Thunder, a flight combat simulator that drops you into various aerial battles.
I haven't played a flight sim game like this. God, we used to play all of these. There was so many games we played on the computer back in the day.
The one
TIE Fighter, and
the one I liked the best for the World War II one from back in the day was Secret Weapons of the Luftwaffe, and it was based off the Battle of Britain scenario. And the best part about it is after you completed the game, you could actually make up your own missions and put your own planes in. It wouldn't be able to handle too many planes back then, but it was still at the time it was awesome. I would play something like this.
Between World War I and World War II. Aces of Thunder, of course, influenced by War Thunder's simulation roots. This game has just meticulously recreated aircraft according to everything I can see, as well as their marketing stuff.
Good.
This game has the distinction of being a pretty darn looking dogfighting game that's coming to PC and PS5 with full PSVR 2 support. It's either
cool.
good or bad for your stomach, I don't know. But War Thunder is landing February 3rd for the aforementioned platforms. Hey, you're probably, statistically speaking, not subscribed to GameRank. So if you could do us a big favor and click that subscribe button, it helps us out a lot. We hope it helps you find some stuff you want to see, and we thank you big time for clicking subscribe. Let's get back to the video. At number 9, it's Norse Oath of Blood. Basically, XCOM meets Ragnarok, right? Turn-based strategy, tactical RPG. You play as Gunnar, a warrior whose life was just taken apart by a rival who brutally...
Yeah, Roadkill. It's not coming to Xbox, just PlayStation 5 VR, and then PC.
Murdered your father, destroyed your home, and, well, you've got to rebuild your settlement, forge alliances, pick up the pieces, and do it through turn-based battles.
So
to me, this is a pretty
XCOM?
cool-looking game because it's kind of like XCOM, but there's a degree of verticality that I think XCOM maybe doesn't typically tout itself for here. There's a lot of terrain, elevation stuff, and of course, the Norse thing makes it pretty unique in that
I
space.
I like the Viking Nords theme type of thing. I'm a big fan of that period. But this game doesn't look good. Doesn't interest me. Call me a hater.
Norse Oath of
GP. Eventually GP.
Oh, yeah.
Blood is landing February 3rd on PC and Xbox Series.
Oh, if Xbox
Number
Series,
8
that'll
is
be on
Dragon
Game Pass
Quest
later.
Reimagined. Hey, remember the 2000 JRPG Dragon Quest VII, Fragments of the Forgotten Past? One of the most sprawling tales of the whole Dragon Quest series. Well, they've rebuilt that game from the absolute ground.
I never
up.
played it.
They've kept
Ooh.
the story of the original where you do some past and present stuff, unlock lost continents, blah, blah. Won't spoil it in case you haven't played
The
it.
art
but
style looks
it
kinda
updates
weird.
it with some completely modern visuals and world design. They streamlined some of the pacing, the quality of life stuff that you might expect in this type of a project. Supposedly, it's all there. They've also added some new features like moonlighting, which is what they're calling dual vocation mechanic. You can have 2 different classes at once, more or less, vocations in this game. And also, they've done away with random battles and made it so that you see your enemies on the map, which
That's
is,
cool.
I think, fast becoming the preferred turn-based thing in these types of remakes, or stuff like Octopath Traveler. There's the Final Fantasy method,
it was just
and
a
the Chrono
cost-saving
Trigger
thing
method.
from back in the
This is
day.
Chrono Trigger method. I think
Save
people
time.
prefer it. If you're
Animations.
a JRPG veteran who wants to play this game again, or you've never played a Dragon Quest,
I never
game
played
in
it. Never
your
played
life,
any of them.
Dragon Quest 7
Never played Dragon
Reimagined
Quest?
looks like a very
No.
good way to
a good
experience
series.
a classic. It's landing February 5th.
Dragon
on
Quest
PC,
was like the other series, like
PS5,
Final
Xbox
Fantasy.
series, and Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. The Switches. At number 7 is Neo 3. This takes us to a dark, myth-heavy feudal Japan and gives us some more open-ended regions.
A lot of
rather than
Japan games, huh?
strictly linear missions. That means the levels are going to be bigger, more interconnected, filled with shortcuts, but also
I
that
think Eclipse is playing
lightning
this.
fast, brutally precise combat that the Neo series
Or is gonna play
established.
this.
They've also
And Water
expanded
Bear.
the yokai shift and spirit fusion system. You can merge guardian spirits mid-combat for temporary forms. I mean, it's not reinventing Neo or anything, or the Souls-like genre for that matter. There is a reason why we have a sort of subgenre of Neo-likes that has popped up. This series has really done a good job establishing itself as its own thing, as well as a very good interpretation of the Souls-like formula. Neo 3 is landing February 6th on PS5 and PC. Moving
No
on to
Xbox
number
there
6, it's Yakuza Kiwami 3 and Dark Ties, which is sort of a double dip. It's a remake of Yakuza 3, once kind of an actually divisive entry to the series, but a lot has been done to bring a lot of quality of life stuff here. For instance, Kiryu's slower block-heavy combat has been updated to feel closer to Kiwami 2, which was itself an evolution of everything that we've seen in the series. They're also preserving the more grounded tone of the original story, at least as grounded as Yakuza gets. And then there's Dark Ties, which is where things get spicy. It's a standalone narrative adventure, basically another game, focuses on the criminal underworld Kiryu doesn't see. There's new characters, new factions, grittier tone, and it mixes the sort of classic brawler mechanics of Yakuza with some new tactical abilities. In all seriousness, these guys know how to make a good Yakuza game. They know how to make old Yakuza games that were kind of a little inconsistent into full-ass classics.
I forgot to put the time, the speed up a
Now
little
they're
bit.
just giving you like new games with them too. Yakuza Kiwami 3 and Dark Ties comes out February 12th on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. And number 5 is Reanimal, the first game from Tarsier Studios since they escaped Bandai Namco, and they went right back to the psychological horror that they are
This is
known
that
for.
co-op game, right?
Reanimal, it's got the Little Nightmares feel. It's maybe a little scarier looking, but it follows 2 orphan siblings trapped on a grotesque island where everything, the animals, the environments, the fog, the water, just everything.
I can
feels
see it playing in this
aggressively
down the road.
Tarsier is, they're great at side-scrolling exploration, environmental puzzles, stealth, and they are sticking to it. The main evolution is full co-op, letting a second
It's
player
almost
control the
like a
second sibling.
Dragon's
But
Lair
other than
game,
that, it
but with
looks
2
like
people.
they know what they want people to know that they do. They want people to know they're the Little Nightmares people, which is good. That's what they should want to do, because they made a killer series that's a big hit, and they deserve to revel in it. Reanimal is landing on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series February 13th.
It's around the
And
corner.
number 4 is High on Life 2. Squanch Games' follow-up to the first.
We'll play this. This is coming to Game Pass.
Controversial game because it's definitely the type of humor that, well, it is a large.
I like
part
the first
of
game.
Your
I thought the
decision
first
whether
game
you
was
like
good.
the game or not. This
So
time
the
around,
talking
the game
gun?
is a little more structured. It's also bigger. You've got more open levels, more planets, and obviously a bunch of new weapon forms. Obviously, we know the whole Justin Roiland thing went down, and
The
I
graphics
know
look like they got a
we'll get in
facelift.
that here, but it does mean he's not in the game. The writing team shifted towards a more ensemble-driven approach, and whether that's appealing to you or not, the game itself looks more polished, certainly more confident. They must have taken the money and reinvested it. The first one actually did pretty well, and this second one looks like a pretty.
I like the
worthy
first one.
follow-up.
It was really
I'm
good.
glad they made
High
a
on Life
sequel.
2 is landing February 13th on PC, PS5,
When did
and
I play
Xbox
that? It was like
Series.
4 years ago.
And number 3 is Styx
Probably.
Blades of Greed. Somehow, against all AAA logic, Styx is still alive, stealthing it up. Blades of Greed pushes the series further into a more open-ended type of level. You have a lot of vertical stuff going on, and it's set up for some creative stealth situations. Obviously, you're not just sneaking past guards in these games. Here, you are manipulating.
Look, we've just seen all of these games. You could play, like, Highguard just came out Monday, and then all of these games are coming out, and somebody's going to be interested in one of these games. Do you know what I mean? Like, why do you have to play a shitty broken game when you can play maybe, we don't know if these are broke or not when they come out, but a full-fledged game that's like done and complete?
Lighting, sound, patrol routes. In fact, I would say that some of this is very Arkham-like. Obviously, the stealth portions of Arkham. But the big hook this time is the greed system. Styx can tap into a corrupting power that boosts his abilities like invisibility, cloning, mind tricks. But the more you rely on it, the more dangerous the world becomes. Like, enemies adapt, environments shift. Like, let's say you like using a stealth route and the enemies figure it out. Suddenly, there's a bunch of them there all the time.
How would they figure it
Assassination
out?
is not going to be trying to be a big mainstream blockbuster, but that's why these games work. Styx Blades of Greed is coming February 19th to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. Moving on to number 2, it's Menace. Ever thought, hey, I sure wish XCOM was harder? If you have, well, Menace looks like that's exactly where you're going to be wanting to look for whatever the hell it is you're looking for. Menace
want a
puts
game
you in
harder
charge
than
of a
XCOM?
mobile mercenary task force that's bouncing between planets and, well, part of an overarching set of campaigns. Injuries carry over, supplies matter the whole time. Everything's pretty much permanent. Combat's turn-based, very XCOM-like. There's line of sight,
Show gameplay.
destructible cover, and verticality. It's a very brutal-looking version of XCOM, basically. And in every way, I think that's
brutal
cool.
version of
I think
XCOM.
it looks like a good game. And I think if you're interested in it, it's probably good to be dropping by their Steam page on February 5th, because that's where it's landing on PC.
February 5th.
And finally,
Jesus.
at number 1, it's Resident Evil Requiem.
Was it
Capcom
4 years ago,
wanted
Jesse?
to
Jesus.
win February. They wanted to own February. And the next major evolution of the Resident Evil franchise is landing. It's very classic Resident Evil with a modern edge. Like, in every way, it's like the remakes, but a new game. That is something that makes me very happy, because it's exactly what I wanted after they finished up the 7 and Village storyline. This one's got you back in Raccoon City. And let's be serious, this is a very good looking thing. It's something that not only do we not really know a lot about, but everything we do know looks beyond great. Resident Evil Requiem is coming February 27th to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. I do have some bonus games for you. First is Mugenics, a turn-based RPG about genetically ruined cats. You're basically breeding cats and sending them into tactical battles. It's super niche, but like, I think it does scream insanity in a good way. Like, looks pretty systems heavy, looks like there is a degree of customization that is, it's going to go further than expected. I think this is actually one that I only recently heard of, and honestly looks pretty sweet. Mugenics is landing.
This looks
on
like
PC
somebody's
February
therapy.
10th. Next is Carmageddon Rogue Shift.
Carmageddon.
Yes, that Carmageddon. It's vehicular carnage game. I don't know what else to say to you. It's technically a racing game,
Yep.
but really the point is racking up damage everywhere, more or less. Carmageddon was a series I used to play like way back, and I'm super excited to play a new one. This one's landing on PC February 6th. And
I remember
Avowed
Carmageddon.
is coming
So
to
long ago.
PS5. It was previously an Xbox.
I know a lot of people
exclusive,
didn't like
and it's
this game. I
landing
had fun with the
Pillars
game.
of Eternity universe.
Which
and
one's this one?
Obsidian's brand of
This is
first-person
Avowed.
fantasy to the PS5.
They're coming out. They're coming out with a new game plus,
and
and I think an expansion as well.
Game to check out if you haven't. That's all I got for you today. Leave us a comment.
So-
Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like.
It came out last year in February. It's already been a year since I played that game. I enjoyed it. Not the greatest, but
The game was a year already?
Yeah,
Avowed
it came
is
out-
a year?
I think it came out last February, March. I think it came out.
Jesus.
All right. Let's get to Q&A. All right, we got lots of questions this week. We got one from Alex. Alexander Smith says, "What are the most anticipated games of next year? Next few years? Next few years?
For us? Like for me personally?
Yeah, I would assume it's for
I mean,
personally.
I want Dawn of War 4 to be good. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I got a couple. Hightail 1 being upgraded and updated and being a done product in the next few years. That'll be nice. Light No Fire. I'm excited for that. Whenever that's supposed to come out. I'm excited for. I don't really know much about it, but we saw the trailer today or the deep dive into Crimson Desert.
Yeah, that looks good too. Yeah,
That looks pretty interesting. So I just off the top of my head, those 3 games, I'm sure there's plenty of missing. Obviously, Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm a fan of that franchise. So yeah, that would be it. That's the ones for me.
Like 2 or 3. That's about it for now. Because I don't look that far ahead because they got to be done.
I'm actually looking forward to the Star Wars, not the one they showed at the Game Awards, but Zero Company. That's an XCOM type of game, Midnight Suns type of game, So I'm looking forward to that as well. Next question comes from Alternate. Says, if you were forced to play a game for a month straight, your only options are Splitgate 2 or Highguard. Which one would you choose?
This is the game. The question answers itself, Alternate.
I mean,
the question answers itself.
I guess I would choose Highguard, and I would just leave the game on and I would fall asleep.
No, I wouldn't even. I'm not putting it on my hard drive. Splitgate 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't play it. You're forcing me to play it, but you didn't say I have to play it. I just have to have it on my system, and it's got to be on. So I would just leave it on and have a good nap for that month. I would play no games and just have it playing in the background. My teammates would hate me.
Yeah, but then Microsoft would be sending you every fucking shitty ass game under your wish list because you played Highguard.
Alexander says, if you were going to make your ideal game no limits, what does that look like?
Well, you have to have limits, otherwise it never gets completed. But I still think the winner for me is Dawn of War, Warhammer 40,000 Battlefield game. That's I think is the winner.
I'm almost close to you. The ideal game for me, I mean, if I made my own game, I would choose Transformers, and I would make a Transformers game if that was a Battlefield-esque type of game, or if it was a Destiny-esque type of game. That would be my dream, because I really want a really good Transformers game I can just constantly play.
Character classes, vehicles, airships. It speaks for itself. You put 40K in a Battlefield game, and it's all over. It's all over but the crime.
If I had to pick a franchise that I'm looking forward to, it would be Battlefront 3. It would be Battlefront 2, but fucking complete. And not with the microtransactions. It'd be no microtransactions. It would just be all Star Wars things in one game, not by mods, not by anything like that. Just everything, all the battles, all the stuff, ground to air, ground to space. Like, it'd be amazing. That would be my game that I would love to do.
Yeah, that'd be incredible. Imagine here's how I look at it. Right, to follow you what you're saying. I would like it to be to where it can be 30 versus 30. But what I'm saying it would be is 30 people on the same team. Like, you're in the temple with 30 other players, and then everyone gets on their ships and you go attack the Death Star like a New Hope. It's 30 people versus the NPCs,
right?
To try to defeat the Death Star.
You do like a Starship Troopers game, but better.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. That to me would be amazing, just amazing.
Next one says, Alexander says, why was Jeff Keighley so off base with his prediction? Is there any hope of Highguard turning it around?
Okay, let's back up. I know you're going to say this, and I think I have to agree with you from before. This is not Keighley's fault. He was trying to do a favor for them. It's not about it being a prediction.
He screwed him over, but yeah.
I'm not sure if he screwed him over. He just believed in the product, right? But maybe he believed in the people and didn't play the game. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody
he played the game. He said, I played it.
Right.
And you're going to love it too, is what he said.
Because he's got it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to promote your friend. What are you going to say?
I mean, I get it, but
it's your friend, are you going to tell him it's a shitty game or it's not ready yet? I can't put it on my show. Like, what do you think he was trying to do? I don't think he did it on purpose.
He didn't mean to shit on it on purpose, but it just happened that way because of what he did. I think someone said it. I think it was who said it in my chat in the morning. Was it Jesse Mack? Somebody said it. Anyway, sorry if I don't give you credit. If I gave the right credit, he said if you just swap the Star Wars game that they showed first and swap it with Highguard at the last spot. So Star Wars showed at the last spot instead of the first spot, and Highguard showed at the first spot, we wouldn't be in the same mess. You know what I mean? Because like, you starting the show off with Highguard. It's because it's the last thing, right? For almost 2 decades, because of Apple, we always had the one more thing, right? That's what Steve Jobs used to do. And then everyone started doing that. Wait, we have one more thing. And then the award shows started doing it. And he said it. I said it in my video. It's like a contract. He knew what he was doing. They knew what they were doing, and we understood what he was doing. And it was a binded contract of, you're showing us this last game you think is awesome. They're showing this game because they believe in it. And then we look at it and go, oh, wow, we should pay attention because they told us this game is going to be the next best thing. Unfortunately, not so much. But to answer your question, I do not think there's any hope for Highguard. There is no No Man's Sky turnaround for this. Okay, name another game that did a No Man's Sky turnaround. Someone's going to say Cyberpunk. Okay, they made it. Well,
Fortnite came back from the dead.
That's
Sea of
true.
Thieves. Sea of
True.
Thieves.
Sea of Thieves didn't die. Sea of Thieves has always been just the same, right?
There was one more. It'll come to me.
Yeah, but Final Fantasy 14. That's a game that has a whole bunch of franchises ahead of it, right? So people would forgive it because they love Final Fantasy. Do you know anything about Highguard? What's the backstory of Highguard? Do you know anybody about Highguard? No. The reason that No Man's Sky turned around is because I think people like Sean Murray. They saw that they got dicked over, and then they put their head down for 2 years. Guess what? That's not a multiplayer game. That's a single-player game, but they turned into a multiplayer game. Highguard needs multiplayer. There's no turnaround. That game is done. Done. I don't think we see it. Game Awards is done. By the next Game Awards is gone. All Turns, next one says, I know you already gave the time frame for Highguard's life cycle. There you go. Now the game is out. Can you update how long do you think the game will be alive? I think it's dead before next Game Awards. What do you think, Sarge?
I was naming 5 strippers. What's the question?
He says, I know you already gave a time frame for Highguard's cycle. Do you think what's the time frame it'll be around?
I told you it has a small chance, and I mean a small chance. I think it could be an action MOBA, but that's if they can see it and make it something fun.
So what's the life cycle?
Currently,
what do you think it's going to last?
2,000 people play it for 6 months, and then they decide whether or not it's enough to change it or not.
Okay. Alexander, what are your thoughts on the last Arc Raiders update and the roadmap? I didn't really look at it. I know they added a 40 plus, where if you're 40 plus, you only go into other matches with people at 40 plus. Is that right? Let me see here. Do they have? Yeah, I got it. Let me cancel that. Let me bring this up. I got it. So January update, headwinds, new matchmaking option exclusive to level 40 plus accounts, new minor map conditions at the time of writing this, believe that Arc Raiders Toxic Swamp event and a fresh player project presumably dump a bunch of resources into. February 2026 update, Shrouded Sky, expect more significant new map conditions. So just going to keep adding more conditions and whatnot. New Raider deck, full cosmetic, miscellaneous stuff. March of 2025 or 2026. Flashpoint brings another more significant map condition marked by lightning bolts. I think they already have a lightning bolt thing in there, right? Scrappy update, which also hopefully increases the expand range of resources the Bird Buddy can require. April, Riven Tides. It's a big one. Bring a new map entirely, seeming a beachy one base of a sandy seagull backdrop art and tides update. Not to mention that the beach umbrella symbol for the map, a new large arc likely on that level of a Queen of Monarch. Another new map condition marked by storm clouds and a new expedition window. I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't played Arc Raiders. It's got to be almost 2 months now. I enjoyed it, just haven't gone back. About 3 weeks ago I played it.
I think they're doing a fantastic job. I hope the game has a nice little lifetime going on, like how long it's supposed to last for.
But I don't 1,000 people playing it.
I don't like roadmaps, but everything else is fine. I don't like roadmaps.
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, here's my situation with any of these games, Alexander. Even though Space Marines 2 is a fantastic game and people love it, I didn't like their business model. I didn't like how they extended the game over the year, especially since they said it wasn't a live service game, and yet they just kept bringing stuff into the Space Marines 2 live service game, right? That's the same thing that Arc Raiders is doing. I think Arc Raiders is a great game, but I wish there was more. I wish this wasn't here. I'm with Sarge. I don't really like roadmaps and stuff
You
like
don't.
that.
If you were just to shut up and then release a DLC,
Yeah,
we're fine. Then
Agreed.
do a deep dive for a DLC. But I can't stand roadmaps. I can't look at them anymore. When you put it on the screen, I stare through it. All I see is just squiggles and color.
just noise.
That's it. I don't trust them. I don't believe in them. The roadmaps are just there to give you hope.
Krebsy says, what does Sarge think of the title DEI only improved things at Ubisoft, says former employee, stunned as misinformation claiming diversity, equity, and inclusion to blame for AC's drop price.
Well, it's kind of easy to explain, Krebsy. You have to remember that the DEI people are still in charge in most areas, in most sections of the economy. So you're not allowed to criticize, right? And because you can't criticize, it doesn't matter what anyone says. So you can't badmouth the employees. So in my world, your job is based completely on meritocracy. You don't get any special treatment. I don't care if you got one arm. This is the list of things you have to do for the job. If you qualify for these things, I put those people in a room and I test them. And out of 10, I take the top 3 guys that are best at the job I'm looking to do. I don't care if they're black, brown, Chinese, old, young. I don't care if they're in a wheelchair. I don't care. I care that they can do the job, right? What's happening now, and they can sue whatever they want. What happens now is, regardless of your merit, you're put in a position to fill a quota, right? And I don't respond to that, because if I put that in other areas of the economy, you wouldn't even go to you wouldn't even do what those people do. Let's say, for instance, it's a pilot, and all pilots need 1,500 hours of experience flying before they fly a commercial jet. And you find out that X, Y, and Z people only need 800 hours, and they get to fly planes commercially. And then you get on a plane and you look to see X, Y, and Z on there, and you think to yourself, well, this is a lesser person who's flying me around. Do I want to get on this plane? Because I keep hearing about plane accidents all the time, right? I don't need that shit, right? Meritocracy wins over everything else. I don't care about anything else, right? So once these people are removed and we go back to the normal world where the best of the best get the job, and if you want the job, you have to be the best. That's how it works. No more lazy, no more special privileges, no more nothing, bro. You want the job, work for the job. That's it. That's all there is.
All right, next one. Clip says, so an article came out saying that Capcom had women developers make sure that Leon looked like a stud uncle in Resident Evil 9. Will they consider it a Gooner game now?
It depends.
Is that true? They wanted to make Leon a stud uncle.
It depends. It depends on what kind of position they put him in inside the game to promote that. You know what I mean? Like how the game develops and what kind of situations they put him in will do that. I
have no problem if they wanted to make him.
I don't know about a Gooner game though.
Like
nobody
good-looking guy.
First of all,
who wants to play a game with a fucking ugly person?
First of all, nobody beats the Japanese on Gooner games. Okay, nobody. Resident Evil is like on the bottom of the list if it was a Gooner game. The Japanese have the best Gooner games known to man.
I just don't understand when people are like, "Yeah, I want a protagonist that's ugly." Who wants that?
I mean, I would
nobody wants that.
Even people who you believe to be ugly or they believe to be ugly would want to look at somebody that looks better than them. You know what I mean? If you're self-conscious about yourself and you don't want to see yourself because you think you're ugly, you also would want to see someone who looks better looking to play. Nobody wants to look at an ugly person.
Yeah.
For 40 hours.
If it's a third-person game, I want someone to look at. If it's a first-person game, I don't give a shit what they look like. I just want good gameplay, right? Next one says, Krebsy says, do you see Highguard push up their 2-week update if their numbers get too low, or do they shut down before that update? No. I think they I think 2 weeks is fine. They get past that 2 weeks. They give you the whatever surprise they have in the 2 weeks, which is probably a 6v6 mode. But yeah, I think they stay to the course of that.
Yeah, if you talk about releasing or fixing anything, if you talk about it, then you have to do it regardless what the fucking number count is, right? Otherwise, shut up,
right?
And just put your head down and go to work. But if you start talking about doing updates and your number goes too low and you go, oh, we're not going to do it now, like no one will believe you again. Like no one will even look at your next game because you talk a good game, but you don't follow through. You want to fix the game? Fix the game.
Krebsy says, should we be worried that State of Decay 3 is not showing as dev direct? If Fable was shown running like shit, how broken could State of Decay 3 be? I would say that.
I mean, how broken is the first two?
Well, yeah, the first two were broke.
They're broke.
But State of Decay 3 is in a different boat because the devs of Fable never made a game like that before. They made card games. Now they're making an RPG adventure game, right? So maybe that's why it's not optimized, and maybe that's why they've delayed it so many times. So State of Decay 3, I'm not worried about it until I see it. And when they show me something, then I'll be like, like remember how janky 1 and 2 were?
Yeah, but if you do a really good version of State of Decay 3 with co-op, that would be a contender for Game of the Year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, imagine playing Division 2, but there's zombies,
right?
And you have to salvage stuff in order to survive. That would be a Game of the Year contender if it was done well. Like, I don't like the fact that they made the game, it did okay, and nobody wanted to fix it. They just left it the way it was. And then people are talking about the sequel. You didn't want to fix the original.
Here's the way I'll look at it, right? State of Decay 1 was here, which was single player. State of Decay 2 came out, went above the bar there, made it co-op, did a lot better things, still broke, but they did better than this. If State of Decay 3 comes out and does exactly what State of Decay 2 did, and then just a little bit more, I think as a franchise, they've done what they're supposed to do, is make a better game every time they make a game. Now, it could still be broke, but again, I got to see it. They haven't seen shit. The last thing we saw was the trailer that was, 4 years ago?
Is there any way if you find that footage of the exploding card that we did when we played State of Decay?
I think I have it on Twitch, if I'm not mistaken. You're talking about the one when we went over the bridge, came back in and exploded. The one I have is where I'm in the ambulance and John's just laughing his ass off, giggling as he's trying to fix the fence, and then it turned my car on fire and stuff like that. I still have that one. Yeah.
That's like, I never laughed. I haven't laughed that hard in a long time, bro.
You're crying.
I haven't laughed like that in a long time.
Why do you think Bill Belichick didn't make it to the Hall of Fame? It's football's Hogwarts legacy. I think it's bullshit. And I'm not even a Patriots guy. I think it's bullshit. He should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, 100%.
For sure.
But the other coaches that are in the Hall of Fame because of Deflategate and whatever else, look.
So they're giving him the Pete Rose treatment.
Yeah, but he didn't fucking bet on anything or anything like that. It wasn't even proven. So it's like they're mad because of certain things.
Pete Rose bet on his team to win always, never to lose.
Yeah, but
he bet on his team to win always.
Yeah, but one's gambling and one's not, right? One was just said, right? Bill Belichick, say what you want about the man. He's fucking one of the best coaches ever.
He deserves to be in there, no doubt.
Do the game.
No doubt.
No, Bill Belichick didn't die. He is still alive. He's a coach, but he didn't get picked, or they're trying to hold him back from getting into the Hall of Fame.
That'll work itself out. The guys who are in charge of picking, either one will keel over and die or get bribed. He'll be in there. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Everybody who deserves to be in there will be in there.
I like how you said, is he football's Hogwarts legacy? Altern says, do you believe in Crimson Desert will run great on console? Some people think there's no way the game can run on console hardware.
Well, let's review. Let's review. What system is it coming out for?
All the systems.
Okay. 4 or 5?
No. Just 5, 6. I'm sorry. 5, Xbox Series X, S, and PC.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say Crimson Desert comes out, and we'd have to get the definition for you, Altern. What is runs great? What's runs great mean to you on console? And we'll answer the question from there, because I gotta have I got to have at least your baseline. What is great running on a console for you?
I mean,
because in my mind, what I think is going to happen is the game's going to come out. It'll be optimized, but not enough. And
yeah,
because,
it'll say 60,
and,
it'll run
and
50.
Because,
it'll run 50.
Yeah, and because we're not going to get new systems, they'll have plenty of time to optimize it for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. No problem.
Yeah,
right?
I think
because we're not going anywhere now. We're not going anywhere. So if the game releases and it's not fully optimized, but it's decent, they'll have plenty of time to optimize it so it runs great on console.
Yeah, I think that obviously there's people talking about it because what they showed today, they're like, there's no way it runs on console like that. Now there are people that said I played it and they said that you'll be surprised.
We'll see.
I want the same energy level from people that don't think it's going to run with Grand Theft Auto when it comes to consoles.
Yep.
When Elder Scrolls 6 comes to consoles, obviously it's not going to run like it's on a PC. Even more reason to get the Steam machine or to get a PC, right? But it's going to run. You're going to load. Here's my thing when always this happens. If someone wants to play a game, right, besides this small, very small group of people that are like, I get nauseous when it's lower than 60 frames, okay? There's people that don't give a shit about frame rate. Doesn't matter if it's 30, 40, 60, 120, whatever it is. If they're having fun playing a game, I said this to Water earlier, right? I get that people get nauseous and they can't play lower frame rate. But if you want to play a game and it's a great game, Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate 3, whatever, right? A great game's a great game. Regardless if you play it or not. If you want to play it, right, you're going to find a way to play it. Not like Randy Pitchford says you're going to get a job and you're going to find a way because you're a fan. What I'm saying is if it's a great game and you're like, oh, man, I got to play this game, you're going to play it because you want to play a great game. So the frames rate doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter. It didn't matter when you were playing games 10 years ago and you were playing 30 frames per second. It didn't matter then either. You're just playing a great game. So I don't think it's going to be a big deal. A small percentage of people will be like, oh, I can't play it. It's 30 frames per second. I'll wait for it to upgrade. Cool. Still a great game. Still going to be a great game, right? So I don't think the frame rate is going to be as big of a problem. I think it'll run 60. Okay. It'll probably be 1080p 60. Which will drop down to like 54 frames per second. It'll go up to 60 when it's in like the open world or not a lot, but in the cities, it'll drop down to like 48 frames. When it comes out for PlayStation 5 Pro, it'll probably run 60, maybe just below 60 or whatever it is. And obviously, if you have a good graphics card, it's going to run 120. It's going to run 60. It's going to run whatever you want. So I don't really think it's going to be a problem. I think a lot of people are, I think that's why the graphics are not as crystal clear, honestly, on that game. It's got that little blur edge around everything, you know, that's to help it. So I think it'll be fine. I think people they played The Witcher 3, they played Skyrim, they played Grand Theft Auto, they played all these other games, and there was no issues back then, and there's going to be no issues this time because the game, if it comes out and it's a good game, they're going to remember it as a good game, not because the game was running not at 60 frames per second. That's just my thoughts. All right. I think that's the last question. I think Travis had a question. Let me see. Hey, Travis had a question. He said, for Sarge, how do you feel about the rumors that they might get more Warhammer games going forward? That Games Workshop says gaming will become a major focus.
Well, I don't want them to make so many games that just flood the market because you want to put your title out there because you're selling licenses, because then you get a bunch of shitty games. Let's allow Dawn of War 4 to come out and see which way it goes and see if it's good. I think the update for Dark Alliance was good. I didn't get to play a chance to play. I want to play the new class, but once again, I got no one to play with. I hate going in with randoms. I think that I think that 40K and the Warhammer series has got a lot of potential, but they can't just make a game to make it. They have to make it specific and something fun. Because remember, the Dark Alliance game, and it's the same game done like 3 times now, right? Because you had the fantasy one against the rats. I forget which one that was called, Vermintide. And then you have the Dark Alliance. Like there's 3 or 4, they're all the same, right? So you're just pumping out a game just to pump it out. You're not like doing something creative and different with it. Like the XCOM version of the game that came out, the Rogue Trader one's decent, but I didn't like it. It was clunky, right? If you're going to do a game, do it right. Like I say it again, I'll say it every fucking week. I want a Battlefield version of Warhammer 40K. it's got its name written all over it. Classes, vehicles, airships, special abilities.
That'd be dope.
It's a done deal.
Yeah, we
Just fucking get the license, get a team together, and make the goddamn game. Right? You can call it whatever you want. 40K Warzone, 40K something. I don't care. But you want us to play a first-person shooter and be fucking out of our minds? That's the game. Tell me you don't want to be running around in Terminator armor with an auto cannon and a laser claw, or a power fist. Tell me you don't want to do that. And then and then here's the best: first person, third person, just like Battlefield.
Yeah.
First person, third person. You pick.
Alternate says just like G.I. Joe Battlefield. Yep, you give it to me. Yeah, that's it.
Right? Because Battlefield can't do it, right? So let's switch it up.
Did you see Delta Force put a new map out? It's called Quake or something like that. And they put level Delta Force is like a Battlefield game. It's a free to play.
Oh, you're talking about the game. I thought it was like a secret code for like a bunch.
No,
of
Delta
modders.
Force. They put a new map in. I think it's called Quake or Shake or something like that. And they have Levolution where skyscrapers are falling down and they can crush people on the game, but yet Battlefield can't do that.
Bro. Don't. We can't rehash. Let's not start.
We can. Let me look up real fast. Battlefield 6 numbers. Let's look that up. That's pretty good.
Think about all the
Pretty good.
chapters. You could be all the chapters that you could charge for new teams coming out, because it won't just be like the Americans and the Chinese or the Americans and the Russians. You have Space Marines and Tyranids and all kinds of shit, bro. It'd be fucking I think it would be like a crossbreed between Enlisted and Battlefield.
But Delta Force has got more players than Battlefield 6. Greatest game ever. Remember?
Yeah.
Greatest game. I mean, this is free to play, but still. All right.
So good.
All right, chat. Generation X Gaming episode 474 is in the can. We do appreciate you very much for coming out, hanging out with us. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do this. I do this, a show on this channel, Daily Grind, Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We do this podcast in the evening on this channel on Thursday, which ends the week for us. We do appreciate you coming out, hanging out with us anytime throughout the week. And you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Game on, guys.
Retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips.